Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the KONTAINEROZ Podcast. The podcast is sponsored by PortPro, the leading operating system for drayage carriers. Schedule a demo today at portpro.io. In the studio today, we have Kenny Chamo. Welcome.
Hey, what's up, man? Always want to be here.
Well, here you are. So, tell us a little about yourself. What are you doing these days?
Well, I'm a company driver, right? So, company driver, pretty much trying to get ahead like everybody else. Trying to see where my future's at in a couple of years. I do kind of stay with what's going on. We all know what, the AB5 and other things going on in the world. And, right now we're kind of hitting the beginning of a recession. So, you got to kind of stay on your toes, because you can't just be out there spending a lot of money, because we all know what happened last time we had a recession. It was pretty bad, So, yeah, I just stay afloat, kind of recover, because it is slow for us, for company drivers too. It's been like that for the last couple months, and I felt it. So it kind of put me at a pace where I gotta just be very cautious with what trying to spend my money on, because I do want to become my own operator pretty soon.
Okay. How do you feel about AB5?
Well, from what I read, right, what I interpreted is that it wasn't meant for truckers, right? It was meant for like Uber drivers to protect them and stuff. But it did affect the truckers because they're falling in the same classification, or some do, right?
Because they don't have 200 million.
Exactly. So it's like, it's bad, When they started protesting at the ports, I was with it, I get the stand, Unfortunately, I couldn't be there. I am a company driver. I don't make the owner operator money just yet, but I can't just be like, hey, let me take 3 days off. It's like, I can't, dude. Not when I company driver, because it's like, hey, dude, what's up? Yeah, you can find another job somewhere else, but I like where I'm at, So I'm still there for now, But yeah, the AB5 kind of messed up the way it is. I did like how everybody kind of came together, try to fight it, protest, speak their mind on it. So that was great to see, because at the end of the day, man, we're all kind of, the way I see it, it's like we're all kind of co-workers out there, we got to help each other out.
Yeah.
So that's what I think about that.
You feel a lot of people, there are a lot of people that know about it, or you think they just put it on the back burner for this whole time?
I think they put it on the back burner. It was out for a while. It's not something that just came overnight. Boom, hey. Nah, it's been out for a while. It's a lot of the people probably were like not too serious about. Oh, it's not gonna pass.
There was hope.
There was hope, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, hey, you gotta know, man. It's just more than just driving your truck, maintenance your truck. You gotta know the industry, what's it doing, where the money's at, because that's where it's gonna dictate where you go, right? So that AB5, it was out. It was out months ahead when they're trying to come up with, and that's where we had the chance to kind of fight it even stronger. But we kind of said, nah, I don't think it's gonna pass, right? Yeah,
I respect everything they're doing, and it's always worth a try, right? To try. So since they're trying, then why not help?
Exactly.
Right? Let's spread the word. But then there are arguments within the comments or other truckers, that they're like, well, why didn't you have the same energy when it was, introduced?
Yeah.
And I guess the reality is that a lot of us didn't know. We're too busy hustling to stop and investigate that, right? And so in a sense, there has to be some kind of accountability. And I maybe some people will dislike that I say that, but if those are the facts, that it's been around, it didn't just pop up right now as something you could vote on. So it's not, if it were to not work, although I wish it does, that they can repeal it, right?
Yeah.
Because the power is in the people, right?
Exactly.
If they want it to be repealed, then I support them. I'm pro trucker all the way.
Yeah.
But if for some reason it doesn't, let's also have accountability that it wasn't done when it should have been done, and now move forward to like taking responsibility and action and how to comply. And I hate to use that word, but comply is like well, then how do I make it work? How do I stay informed so that this doesn't happen again, you know? And I 100% support the attempt. As you can see, I've been doing my part like everyone else to share it and spread the word. But it's going to have to be way deeper than just saying no AB5. Like, we got to come up with some solutions, suggestions.
Yeah, exactly, you know.
Amendment, maybe. Request an amendment to it, you know.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
It's good. It's a good thing to see everybody get unionized. But you also, you know, it's like a cause and effect. You know, you got to know the effect. Okay, so this is a cost, AB5. We're protesting. Hopefully it gets, you know, appealed or get an amendment, you know. But then at the same time, you know, the effect is that, hey, the reality is if it doesn't happen, okay, then what's your next step? You got to find the loopholes, right? Which there's always loopholes.
Yeah.
You know, find the loopholes, find what's benefit for you guys to get out there, you know, because a lot of people are like, everybody's talking about, oh, just get your authorities. It's like, dude, it's not that easy.
Right.
That's extra money. Plus, it's not just get your authorities. It's you get your authorities, and then you got to figure out the ports. So that's separate. So you need it. That's another money. And people, kind of, when you have your own truck, you make a little bit more than company drivers, but also you kind of level yourself up where you kind of have more responsibilities. You know, you have other things that you have your money kind of in or invested in. So you can't just say, well, I got 10 grand. I could do all, you know, get my authorities, get into the port, get all that. But then after that, if you say you do all that, that's a whole different system.
And not only that, there's guys that are dependent on that model that they've adapted to that, and now this is kind of cold turkey to them now that it's really a thing. So you're used to the company sending you the work, and you know you got a little system going there, right? So now overnight to switch it up times thousands. It's an unrealistic expectation. Like that whole 7-day thing was outrageous because it takes longer than that to even get an insurance quote sometimes. You know, and that's another thing that you could all those years that they've been there, passing their inspection, keeping their truck up to date, running those numbers of that company, all that experience. The minute they go and get their own numbers, that's not transferable. So the insurance is like, ooh, you're a new booty. You got to pay up because you're new, you're high risk, you're a new venture, right? So now it's like insurance companies are winning right now, I bet. You know?
Oh, dude, they're loving it. I wouldn't doubt they're loving it. You know, they're like, okay, they'll probably be supportive of, you know, trying to appeal or to the truckers because that's their clientele. But at the same time, hey, man, we're going to get paid because now it forces the truckers to get insurance.
Yeah. Imagine this guy trying to comply, which is a real scenario. He's trying to comply. He has his own insurance, has a truck leased on to someone. The insurance said if he gets his own authority, then they would have to cancel his policy or some shit like that because he's too new. So it would be high risk, right? So there's a lot of these things all these other problems that come from trying to solve one.
Yeah.
So it's like,
yeah.
And now if you get your own authority and I have a company, I'm ABC Trucking, you're XYZ. Now we can't, we both do trucking. So now you got your permits for nothing, right?
Pretty much. So, and that's like what, $2,000 depending on who does it. If you do it yourself, you save a lot more money. But the fastest way is you pay somebody to do it. Yeah,
plus the down and all that.
Yeah.
And then learn about how when you get audited, the clearinghouse, you know, your hours of service, all that shit. Your file your stuff.
Correctly,
Excuse me. So there's a lot of things. See, I had to run like the thought process of all the stages that we have in trucking here at the ports because I think I know we're too much on AB5. We're gonna move along shortly, but I think there's a lot of stages at the ports. I think, unlike other parts of trucking, where those people saying just get your permits, do your own thing, they probably don't do ports, because at the port is where there's a lot of layers, right? So there's the 1099 driver, you know, company driver. Yeah. There are some W2 company drivers. Yeah. Then you have a lease to the lease purchase ones. That's kind of rare because of so many lawsuits that have happened.
Yeah.
But you have that scenario, right?
Yeah.
So the guy is renting the truck to own it,
Right.
leasing the truck from the company. The company is the lien holder on that shit.
Yeah.
So that guy is owner operator, sort of like he makes money more than the drivers, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Then we got the guy that under no circumstances can he go and haul for me because that truck keeps him,
in that company.
yeah, he can't go nowhere else.
Yeah.
Then we got a guy that owns his own truck and that's it. Now he gets the insurance from that company and the
Right.
parking from that company, permits from that company.
Yeah.
Then we got the guy that owns his own truck, but he has his own insurance.
Yeah.
But he still needs someone's authority. So he goes to that company,
Yeah.
gets their authority, put the placards on his doors. He just has to make sure that, because he has the insurance from them, right?
Yeah. Yeah. He would.
Okay. So you got the guy that owns his truck. I know it's a lot. You got the guy that owns his truck, has his own the guy that owns his truck but has his own insurance.
Yeah.
He goes wherever he wants. So I go to you. I'm like, hey, I want to work for you. Okay, cool. Then I put you as a certificate holder on my insurance.
Yeah.
And I could put your placards on my shit.
Yeah.
But then I want to go haul for Containeroz.
Yeah.
Containeroz will be like, cool, just add me as a certificate holder.
Yeah.
And then, but when I go haul for Containeroz, you're not gonna want me to keep your company name on my doors.
Not at
So
all.
I gotta go and put his.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of swapping around. Then I have my own authority. That keeps you further away from being classified as an employee. Like you're almost there. Now you have your own authority. Your own placards are on your door everywhere you go. Yeah, I'm gonna haul for you.
Yeah.
You'll be like, cool. Fill out the carrier packet. Cool. I haul for everyone, and I don't need to be swapping placards because I got my own. I think I'd still have to add you as a certificate holder, though. And then there's the other level, right? Go all the way, get your concessions, At that point, you don't really need the other company because you're doing it all, so.
See, that's the step that I guess everyone who wants to get to, but they don't know how to get to. Or maybe they don't know how to get to or they don't want to because it's always easier.
Yeah. So the AB5 thing, there's a lot of, people, depending on where you stand in the trucking stage as far as the ports go, it affects you a different way. So maybe they should just be fair with the guys that are already under that contract, finish that lease, but moving forward, no more. Maybe that, so that they don't get in the, they're in the middle of paying that off and then it all ends, right?
Right.
So, and if moving forward, you agree that that's unfair because a lot of companies fucked it up for everyone else.
Pretty much, yeah. But that's
how
it is. Somebody messes it up for everybody.
You got 3 truckers that thought they were going to own that truck, but then that shit's been paid off 3 times in the process, and the only one winning is the company, right? So there's those scenarios.
Yeah.
So, okay, cool. Work with us. I think that would be realistic. Okay, AB5 stays if it does, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. If you're a driver, absolutely. I know it sounds fucked up, but I'm saying let's just offer solutions, right?
Yeah.
Suggestions. Okay, instead of all those 6 or 7 stages I mentioned, okay, let's shorten it. We'll do W2 driver, own authority, and concessions.
Yeah.
Those 3.
Simplify it.
Instead of all the in-betweens.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Everything you got to see how it could connect with itself in the supply chain. And
Look, I mean, me da mucha pena is the older drivers, bro. Because a lot of these older drivers have been there and maybe they got used to a certain way, They have maybe their kids helping them or they don't speak English that well, know. A lot of, the paisanos out there. It's like, dude, that's sort of it's like, dude. It's like, man, I've been doing this for 20-some years and you guys change it up on me, And they some of them don't want to retire because it just keeps you busy, keeps you going pretty much, Yeah. But that's sort of it kind of sucks for that because now a new law came in. Now I got to figure out what to do. Maybe I got to spend more money. Maybe I don't have that kind of money because I just like the way things work now.
Yeah. But if we were to share knowledge with them, maybe they could do better.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? It could give them that little push where it's not going to put you out of business. It's going to be a little learning curve, but you're going to thrive. Just don't fuck up the rates because now there's a room for that as well.
Yeah.
You got these guys. Let's just say this is all I'm imagining making this shit up, right? If the average rate for an owner-operator, from 50-mile radius, 60-mile, here to Ontario or whatever, is like, let's just say 500. Let's just say, right? So they're used to that, right? So maybe the carrier with the concessions agreement, maybe they're billing 1,000,
I
1,200.
would say, yeah, always double.
Okay, so now let's put that into thousands of owner ops that are gonna get their concessions, and they're used to getting 500 to Ontario. What are they gonna do to the market? They're gonna go in and be like, oh, if they're unaware of what they used to bill,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Oh shit, I used to make 5. Give me 750. Imagine you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
we need to share all that as well. Like,
Yeah.
if you're gonna
Yeah.
go all in, make it count.
Yeah, make sure.
So-
yeah.
There's all these other problems that could come from it. Also, is the port gonna work with us? Because they want to help the supply chain move, right? I mean, they do pride themselves in every now and then mentioning how many TEUs were moved and all this, right? So this can definitely keep the TEUs moving if they make concessions agreement more accessible, more affordable, maybe. Stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Will that be more realistic? Not realistic, but more affordable, I guess, in short. So.
Yeah, making the process easier to do. Because at the end of the day, we're going to help each other out, you know?
Yeah.
You move more value, we move more value. And then, you know, it just keeps the whole economy going, you know?
Yeah, I'm looking for something my friend Mario Diaz sent about FMCSA commenters debate whether load boards should register as brokers. So and what impact that'll have. So I guess meaning that things will line up, you know? Things
Yeah.
will line up. He said that opens the door for big corporations like C.H. Robinson to compete with local companies that convert their MC to brokerage. Y una baratera chingona. All these fools used to the low rates will give a nice start. C.H. Robinson will be charging thousands while the companies charge pennies because they are used to the abuse of the current system by the current carriers. So moving forward, it is our duty to help each other out and share that information and educate so that we could not fuck up our own market.
Yeah, that's the thing también. Like a lot of these, you know, I'm not saying old school drivers, but a lot of the drivers that have been doing, they don't want to share the knowledge, man, to the younger generation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, dude, at the end of the day, if you don't, bro, it's like we're kind of collapsing our own system, you know, because instead of telling the new driver how to do it, he's gonna bid low. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And then that just would be like, fuck it, they'll take it.
Yeah.
And even though he's not making no money, he's just like, well, I'm working. Yeah, but you're not really making no money. So that's again, you got to share the knowledge, man.
Or let them self-destruct is probably what they're thinking.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
so you bid low, it's only a certain amount of time you can survive.
That's true. I mean,
Look at all the fuel prices and all that. If you
Yeah.
don't
that's true.
adapt accordingly, it's game over. So anyway, anything else we should discuss about no BA5?
Nah, that's we'll pretty much hit a lot of it. You know, to what it is, how it affects kind of like, you know, everybody in a sense. All the ports, you know, especially with all the protests.
Yeah.
So that was pretty crazy, you know, crazy and nice and awesome to see. You know,
Yeah.
everybody trying to come together to kind of defeat something, you know.
And that's why I said BA5.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed that
Yeah.
on purpose, because one of the guys out there told me that there was a guy holding a sign, no BA5, which it's respectable that he's supporting, but it also shows that he didn't know, you know?
Yeah, he didn't know. Yeah.
And a lot of people that pulled up that were working, they didn't know what AB5 was. So that was interesting. So it's getting out there more than it was,
Yeah.
you know? So
Yeah, now I think that all happens because of the, you know, through all the shutdown of the economy and everything, you know, through COVID and everything, you know, we got more media, right?
yeah.
They were like, well, why is it taking so long for loads and all that stuff, you know?
Yeah.
The ports being all messed up. I thought the ports were 24/7. Yeah, they've been like that for years. It's not something new.
Yeah.
You're just hearing about it right now because of the media, you know?
Yeah.
But that's good, you know. We get that I guess broadcasting of it, so more people are knowing what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah, that is true. Like I did post it in my stories. During the pandemic, we were so busy being essential that we didn't know how bad we were getting fucked over. You know,
Yeah.
so we're only essential when it's beneficial to them, and that's pretty sad. You know. I think we've always been essential. It doesn't need to be a pandemic to know that, you know.
Oh yeah, dude.
But
for sure, dude. For sure, as he is. You know.
No AB5.
Yeah.
All right, and I wish them well. Oakland is coming up, and they're gonna do their thing Monday through Wednesday. So I wish you guys a successful demonstration out there, guys. So moving forward, how did you end up in drayage?
Well, how I started with drive-ins, right? You know, I got my license 15, started drive-ins. When COVID hit, I got laid off, dude. But I'm a trucker, dude, right? I'm like, dude, I'm a trucker, but...
How does that happen, man?
It was weird. But I guess what we were moving, the freight we were moving, wasn't essential. Mm-hmm. So it was pretty much, I would move pre-made boxes. Okay. So this company that I was working for out of Vernon, I was there for a while. They sell boxes, right? Pre-made to, you know, Amazon, all those, you know, big companies that need boxes for shipping, all kinds of. So I would just deliver boxes at like a couple deliveries a day. And once COVID hit, boom, all the non-essential companies are being shut down. Since we didn't really work with medical supply or anything like that, they kind of slowed it down, and they laid me off. And I was like, dude, seriously? Like, I would say I was one of the top drivers. You know, I put in the time, need something done, I'll get it done. You know, but I guess that wasn't the case. So when that put me, I was like, dude, I just, you know, like everybody else, you hit the hardship, you start getting depressed, you can't really get a job. You know, well, you're a Class A driver, yeah, dude, but you want to work, but a lot of people weren't hiring.
Didn't shipping go up though during the pandemic?
For some companies, it did.
Because I would think that shipping requires boxes, right? So
yeah,
I don't know what type of pre-made weird. Boxes they were. Then.
Oh, we had all kinds. So they just try to. So they laid me off, and then they reclassified themselves. They started making masks, right? So that's how they were able to go back in it. And then they called me back. It's like, all right, cool, I'm back in it. But what happened to me, I got sick, dude. I came out with some illness. Ended up in the hospital. And this company, what I was with, they're cool and all, but I was on the edge with them because of the equipment they had. You know, their equipment it was pretty old, and I was kind of assigned to a certain truck. So every day I would get the same truck. So the problem was each time I left for a period of time, a couple of days, you know, somebody would drive my truck. They wouldn't take care of it.
Oh, yeah, that's frustrating.
So it's like they wouldn't take care of it. They start stealing shit from the truck.
Eating your snacks.
Well, snacks or you know, también, you know, they took my tools that I use.
Oh, man, come on, guys.
Like after a while, I just got frustrated. They blew up my clutch. So I come back, hey, your truck's in the shop. Why? Oh, they jacked up your clutch. Come on, bro.
Where was that guy that fucked up the clutch? On another truck?
Probably.
It should have been you, bro.
You know, so it's like it did after a while, you know, that happened, and I was like, you know what, I'm good. You know, and then it just, you know, I got sick, I got off, and then like I was just kind of like stuck without a job for a couple of months through COVID when everything just shut down, right? Mm-hmm. And I was like, shit, dude. You know, you start getting depressed, staying home and shit.
How does that feel at home? Is it like cabin fever?
Pretty much. Like, I can't stay home more than 3 days. Yeah. Like, that's my limit. Like, after that, I got to go out. I just don't like being home.
I wonder how many of us were out there arguing with our girls at home.
Oh, dude.
You're like, oh, shit, I see dishes. I got to wash those now because I don't, you know. I'm not
all that shit, bro. It's like, nah, dude. I needed to go out. You know, so my thing was just going to my homies' house. Even though they shut down, you know, they had the curfew. You know, I was
quarantine.
The quarantine, but there was the curfew where.
Oh shit! Oh yeah, I remember that.
So
man, that's kind of scary now that I think about it.
Yeah, dude. You know, almost like martial law and shit. Yeah. So it was like brink. Yeah, I was like, dude. I would go to my homie's house, and it was just he had an apartment, like maybe a couple miles away. I was always at his house, just chilling, drinking, dude, just chilling, drinking. He'll be like, dude, this is all I need, bro. Get away from my house for a bit. Mm-hmm. You know, and then I had a homegirl hit me up, and she's like, hey, dude, this company's hiring. So this company was ports, and I was like, well, I never done the ports. So I was like, well, I want to try it, but what I need? You need a twig card. I was like, what the fuck is a twig card? You know?
Yeah, Twix.
So I was like, oh, I'll see what's up. I went back to another company. They were gonna pay me what I thought was good. I got my twig card, got my application done. They didn't pick me up, but now I already have my twig card. So I hit my homegirl up, and she's like, yeah, dude, go in, hired. Did the interview and started doing that. So they're doing the export. So that's why I started.
Yeah.
So they would.
You got lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know both export and import.
Yeah.
You know, some people only done one. Some, you know, it's one or the other. So I done both. And the only thing I don't like, it was heavy, dude, because they own recycle, big recycle company. So the containers are full of fucking metal that they would sell to China. China buys it, whatever, melts it down and does whatever. So I'm coming out of Van Nuys because that's where the yard's at. Van Nuys, WBCT.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, man. Heavy ass fucking loads. You know, you go over up the 405, come back down. It's like shit. You know, taking your load in, get in the line, and you gotta go find your empty space. You know, and boom, hustle for an empty, go back up, take another one, do that, and then you do like maybe twice of those a day, and then they would have you find a cargo load to a customer they had. You know, so they had a small yard right here by up the street where your yard was, by Tripac, really like up the street, off of like Old Street, I think it was. So
I love exports, bro.
yeah, it's cool. It's a hustle. It's its own little hustle, you know.
So there's a fucking cutoff, and you know, like, or they there's a delay, and then you gotta hold on to that load forever.
Yeah. So it was cool, man. The only thing is like they would go to K line, fucking K line, dude. I hate it. That's what I'm like, dude. I hate K line. We do a lot of K line. We do a lot of WBCT. Not too much like Tri-Pack or the other ones, you know, when we're doing
Trash
export. Yeah, Trash Pack. You know, but yeah, that's how I started, dude. And I started making good money. They were paying me por movida, per move, so it was cool. You know, and then I was like, dude, I'm making the most money as a port driver than I was as a regular truck driver. You know.
Yeah. By the way, though, I don't want no retaliation, man. Trade pack, that's just the slang out here in the streets, okay? Look into why that is going around, and maybe we could change that name, huh?
Yeah.
And let me switch it up a bit. What was childhood like for Kenny?
I don't know, it was cool. I guess, you know, I was, you know, raised in LA right there, Union and, Union and Pico. You know, some people know that's where I grew up for like just elementary, and then I got moved to where I'm at right now, El Sereno right there. That's where I'm at right now. I've been there for like 20 years. Childhood, well, it was whatever, dude. My dad kept me in sports, because everybody knows that area of Union is pretty deep with gangs and shit. So he kept me in sports, me and my brothers, my siblings. So I grew up good, man. You know, can't complain too much. You know, but I was like a troublemaker, you know, that's not also and all this shit, and especially in school. Yeah. You know, but something like once I was threatened not to graduate from elementary, that's when the light switch flipped. You know, hey, you gotta get your shit together. You know, if not, you're not gonna go nowhere. You know, and I didn't want to be held back. You know, so luckily I was able to graduate. Went to middle school, did all right. Got to high school. Graduated, did okay, and then, you know, that's where I was. That's where kind of like I tried to figure out what to do next, you know.
Who inspired you along the way to keep pushing?
I would say my parents, dude. My dad always had 2 jobs since I was born, dude. My mom worked. My dad always had 2 jobs. He provided, you know, everything to us. Tried to give us the best of everything, you know. To me and my siblings, my older brother and my younger brother. You know, so it was great, man. He just kind of instilled in that work, like, hey, you got to work hard for what you want, you know. And I think that's happened. That's like through all Latinos and the Hispanics, bro. Like, hey, that's instilled. You want to be somewhere, you got to work hard for it, dude. You know, so that's what happened with me, and it's like it just kind of stuck. You know, that you got to work hard for what you want, and at the same time, you know, once you put in that work, you reap the rewards, right? The benefits and stuff. You know, so I appreciate my dad for that and my mom. I mean,
What's your favorite memory from childhood?
I don't really remember it too much, bro. Back in the day, gee. I'm probably just, gaming it up with my brothers. Probably buying like a first Nintendo 64 back then, going to Toys R Us and getting the little slip. Hey, I want this game and shit. Or también, when my dad bought me my first Game Boy Pocket, he got me the, Pokemon game back in the day. That was the shit, So, like I grew up gaming. So that's pretty strong for me, gaming, But unlike my brothers, I got no time. I get game for like 2 hours and I got to do something else. I can't just sit there and fucking chill, I can't do that shit like they could play for hours and I'm like, I'm cool. I'd rather make some money than play video games at this point, But hey, power to those who can do both,
Yeah. This Giancarlo, he's that Vato on Twitch, I think. That Vato. And he brags about 6 hours, so he could do 6 hours. It's a lot.
That's good, bro. But I mean, you gotta have fun, man. Like I used to be in a squad, with 3 other people, and you have fucking fun, bro. And you get lost in time, just crazy. Bullshitting, having fun, playing the games. So I see how you get lost in it. But to personally go out there and stream and kind of be entertaining and shit, that's hard. I ain't gonna lie. I've done a couple of live streams. We got 2-3 people, watching me play and shit. But I was like, yeah, I got a time limit 2 hours and I'm done, dude. That's it, man. I gotta do something else,
Are there any hardships you went through and that have influenced you today?
Pretty much. Well, when the recession hit it back in 2008, man. I was what is it called, a plumber's assistant, and I got in with plumbing. I do a lot of commercial plumbing. I used to dig trenches and shit. And once the recession hit, I lost that job, bro, and that was like holding me over. So I went to school for a little bit for audio, like I was telling you. So I went to like school, to try to better myself. But then I kind of found the industry it's kind of not what it is. Now it's easier because you can do it on your own. Back then you have to know somebody and then you have to kiss a lot of ass. But going to school and not having money like to buy food, that shit sucked, dude.
Oh, that's what you remember?
Oh, dude, it's fucking sucked. Like I would take the bus to school because the school's in Hollywood. It's not a big thing, but like not having money to buy like decent food, I fucking survived a year with the 7-Eleven hot dogs, bro. They used to have the special like 2 for like $5 or some shit. And I'd be like eating that shit, and after a while, I was like, dude, I'm tired of this shit, So once that school was done, I was like, dude, fuck that. I gotta get back to work, man. I can eat hot dogs now, but I don't like them, The 7-Eleven, I'm like, oh, dude, Yeah. I'd rather have some good shit, eat good,
Yeah.
That's one of like the hardships, is not being able to buy things you want or even to have decent food,
What did you really want to be growing up?
Since I grew up in sports, I wanted to be some kind of a baseball player or basketball player, but I just didn't have that raw talent, Some people might not have the raw talent, but they have the heart, the work ethic to push on through to get there.
Yeah,
I didn't have either.
Okay.
I was decent. I wasn't bad. I was a decent player. Through high school también, but at some point I just realized, hey, I don't have that drive.
What sport?
Baseball.
Baseball.
Yeah. I don't have the drive or that raw talent or that determination to go in every day, work out to get better at being a baseball player. I didn't have that. So I just went in there, I'm good. I can handle myself playing baseball, but not to that next level of trying to be there, But that was one of my dreams. And the reason why is because of my dad. He was a badass baseball player, and he still is. That dude is 62, and you tell all my homies, you talk to my homies or people that seen him play, man, he makes 18-year-olds look like kids, bro, because just the way he plays. He puts his whole heart out there, and he's out there 100% each time he plays, even now,
Yeah. Was he understanding when you said, it's not for me? Or did you feel pressure at first to, like, make him proud or something?
Yeah, it was pressure first, because that's what he grew up, baseball. So he was good at it. And I had my brother. My older brother was a little better than me, and then it was me, and then my younger brother. He kind of quit at a young age, but he just kind of there was pressure to try to follow up on that, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, we don't have that what he had. So hopefully, I have a nephew. Hopefully, he has that, or if in the future, if I have a child, they'll have that, that kind of that self motivation to try to be the best at something, even if it's not baseball, something, which is kind of rare,
Yeah.
But yeah, he's all right the way it is, the way it worked out, maybe not baseball, but my work ethic is there for work, so I make the money, and that's where he likes it, because I'm not home all the day chilling. I'm out there getting it.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing that. Was it as hard to become a trucker as you thought?
Nah, man. That's the weird part. The way I started, like, I was a school bus driver. So I got my license. I used to work for LA Unified back in like 2013. So I started school busing, Class B, right? Passenger, S endorsements for schools. And then once you get into that, there's so many opportunities, man. There's like party buses, Class B, limousines, Class B, a certain amount, smaller buses and stuff. So it opens up a lot of doors. And that's how money you can hustle on the side, dude. So I got into, from that, it went into like driving the tour coach buses. Like they have 30 people, the nice ones.
Oh, you did that?
Yeah, so I
taking them to the casino and shit?
Yeah, all that. So they did like casino runs. I did like private runs, upstate, downstate, almost everywhere. Even like state lines runs. They're cool, man. That avenue opened a lot. So I driven almost every kind of vehicle up there except like the specialized vehicle, like flatbeds and stuff like that. I never driven, but like I did party buses, limousines, school buses, double-decker buses, the ones from Hollywood, the red ones. I driven those. I done tours on that shit. Like I done some shit that it's like it's cool experience. I met a couple of famous people. I don't get starstruck. So if I know somebody famous, I'll be like, okay, cool. Some people are like, oh, let me go get their autograph. I'm like, dude, it's just a regular person.
Yeah, take a shit just like me.
Exactly, dude.
The shit stinks too.
It was cool, man. That whole experience, it was really, really like chill.
Let me ask you something, man.
What's up?
Why do you cut people off, man? You put the turn signal and you just get in the lane, like, and then you don't look. You don't look at us.
Oh,
man.
For what? Oh, it depends, bro.
At least for the city buses, they always do that shit.
You know what it is? So you're taught to be self-defense, right? That's that's everybody, right? Mm-hmm. What happens is at a certain age of you driving, you don't care no more, dude, because they don't let you in. Sometimes
it's like, man, but I thought the guy behind me would let you in.
Yeah, there's no respect, dude. And I seen it. I seen it, bro. With MTA drivers, everybody. It just at a certain point, you're going throughout your day. You're doing the same shit over and over and over, picking up. Or you just have one of them bad days, right? We all bad days. Mm-hmm. And you're like, fuck it, dude, my turn signal's been off. Fuck you. Vamos, and it happens. Mm-hmm. I done it. I ain't gonna lie, because it's like, dude, I've been having my turn signal off for the last couple of minutes. Nobody lets me in. Hey, you gotta be a little bit, on it,
Yeah.
If not, you're gonna be there all day, dude.
You didn't do any public transportation?
Nah, man. The only thing was
that sounds like it would come with a lot of crazy stories or something.
Yeah. It never appeased me. I don't really like talking with like locals. They're a little out there for me. So when I was in the tour industry, the double decker, you get foreigners, bro. They're cool as fuck, bro. From people from all over the world, dude. They're just cool, So it's like you have a little bit more respect for them than your local people. But, I don't really judge them until they come at you kind of a little strong or with disrespect. You're like, okay, I'm cool. Hey, all right, dog. But I see it, man. It was, I never got into that. But I did have my dealings with local people when I started doing like party buses and shit like that.
I
Like,
bet all the borrachos.
oh, bro, like, dude.
Okay, there we go. Any wild story about what went on in the party
man.
bus?
Dude,
Bachelor parties or the bachelorette.
I don't think I had any bachelorette ones. They're small. They're not like, I'll tell you right now. A lot of people don't know how to use a party bus, right? And most people.
How should they use it?
Because the whole point is to have a party in a bus. So a lot of people would go from point A to point B, and that's it. So you're paying like what, 12, 1,500 back then. Right now you may be paying up more, 2 G's or whatever, with fuel and everything. So the best is to make a route, and be like, oh, we're going up here and then we're gonna go down there. So you're partying in a bus. You have the best, good time and everything. The only problem with that is depending on what kind of party bus you get, some don't have restrooms. Most of them don't have restrooms. So, you have a bus with 20, 30 people have to use a restroom. It's kind of hard to find a restroom out there, So, the craziest story is just, dude, like, I had a full party bus from where was I? From Redondo Beach. It was like an annual party. They would go up there every year to Vegas. From Redondo Beach, they would take a party bus all the way up there, and I would drop them off, and then I would drive back, and they would fly home, which was kind of cool. I was like, oh, that's cool, because you kind of party up there, and then you fly home, you can sleep back, whatever. So the problem with this food is that it was a bigger bus, right, like a city bus, right? Like 40 people, dog. 40 people. They would bring like 3 or 4 coolers and full of fucking beer, whatever. And I'm driving to Vegas, man. From here up to Vegas, on a bus, it's like 4.5 hours, right? But the problem was so many people drinking fluids, whatever.
Yeah.
It had a restroom in the back. Dude, that restroom got topped off, bro. I don't know if they never drained it, but it got filled real quick. So at one point, they're like, dude, this shit's not overflowing, but it's like to the top, bro. And I'm like, fuck, dude, this is crazy. And these fools are drunk and having all good time, but they can't use the restroom because it's full. So, hey, we got to pull over, this and that. I'm like, well, fuck, I got to find a spot to drain this shit. And I didn't really knew any spots, so I had to, like, Google real quick. And luckily at Baker, at the Flying J, they actually have a RV dump.
Oh, okay.
So I had to call my boss, hey, bro, how you do this shit? I never done this shit. Oh, you just connect this hole and that hole and fucking put it in and let it go. I was like, fuck it. And then when I'm doing this, it took like 5-10 minutes. Everybody got off the bus. They went inside, bought more shit, more booze, and came back. And I'm like, fuck, let's go. And they're fucking partying, wilding. Some people were like knocking out and shit. And I'm like, fuck. Well, that's how you use a party bus.
Okay.
So the party's in the bus, right? So once we got to Vegas, bro, like half the people couldn't even walk off the bus, And I'm like, fuck.
So what are you gonna do in Vegas now? Just sleep?
Well, yeah.
Recover?
Well, they're supposed to get you a room. Once I got there was no room. So I was like, fucking dudes, all right. Well, I was like, whatever, dude. I'm driving back. Got me a couple of Red Bulls, and I was like, fuck this. I'm driving back. So, you're supposed to, like, technically take a break, like a 10-hour break, and I ended up I was like, I want to be home, So I was like, fuck it, I'll just get a couple energy drinks, start making my way back,
Allegedly,
yeah. But I had to pull over a couple times because I didn't make it. I was fucking tired, fucking driving up there because it took us almost like 5-6 hours to get up there because they were stopped every other every minute. They filled up the shit, the tank and shit. I'm like, fuck, you guys are making this shit longer than it's supposed to be. But I done that. That was a pretty cool one. I done like EDC when it was here. In San Bernardino, or when they had it down here at the convention center. I done all that shit. But part
I bet the ADC saw a lot of wild stuff too.
Oh man, shit. There was a bunch of freaking college kids from USC. They're all you know how they dress up for EDC and shit. A lot of these girls are fine, bro. I was like, damn. Once you take them up there, I was like, you see more, right? And the cool part is I had to wait for them. So, cool and not really cool because I had nothing to do up there, but just enjoy the scenery and shit, partying and shit. But it was fun, I had to take them up there, and then I brought them back, all fucking bezel and everything, Some were all like falling over. Most people are like knocked out and shit. So
Party, party, party.
yeah, it was good times, man. But I wouldn't do it again. I was like, that's too much. Too much shit. Like, the drama también when se pelean. I'm like, bruh, I'm good. You know, I think you need to get caught up in that bullshit. You know?
Did you party when you got your first trucking check?
Well, actually, yeah.
How was that experience?
Yeah, it was like that. It was like
Oh shit!
yeah,
I made.
like-
Were
yeah,
you
like-
surprised with how much you made?
yeah, it was good money. Especially okay, so when I first got my trucking check, it was good, right? And then once I got my first port, working with the port, I was like, damn, it's like the most money I'm making ever. And I've been trucking for like 5 years already.
Shit.
You know, so I was like, I got experience over the road, local, and then I'm coming to the port, which is a whole different shit, right? And I was like, damn, I'm making good money. Well, I thought I was making good money, right? Couple of months after, it's like, nah, you ain't making shit. So, once I kind of left that job for another job, the job I'm at now, that's when I started seeing I was making real good money. You know, I was like, oh shit, and this is how it is, right? At the ports, you know, and that's why I tell everybody, it's like, dude, you can be a trucker, but if you want to make money, you come to the ports. Now, the ports, it's like the wild, wild west, bro. You gotta be on your toes, bro. It's crazy out there.
Yeah.
You know, you got every type of freaking personality you want out there. You gotta respect everybody, even though sometimes they don't respect you. You just gotta respect everybody because you just got to, man. Because you know they kick you out or you start some shit. And
How long did it take you to adapt to the ports?
that was kind of crazy.
You're like, oh shit! Like you said it right now. You know, wild, wild west.
Yeah,
So
it was-
when did you realize that? Like, oh shit.
Once I got in there,
This is
and
different.
like so my first experience with the port
Mm-hmm.
at WBCT, I was getting trained. He trained me pretty well. I was at the pedestal, right? And the lady's like, "What do you want?" I'm like, "What do you mean what I want?" Oh, they didn't really tell me what to say, right? He's like, "What are you doing?" Load in and shit, right? Load in and this and that. Okay, I need your driver's license. Driver's license? What? Like they shoot you shit that you're not ready for. I'm like, I didn't know she want my number, my driver's license number, or my truck driver's license. I didn't know, so it was fucking confusing.
Oh, the plate.
The plate, right?
Oh, okay.
So she cut me off, bro. And she's, I don't got time for this shit. Boop. I was like, oh fuck, press the button again. What do you want? Oh, doing this and this.
You got the same one?
Same lady.
Oh.
And at the same time, I was like, dude, I'm fucking frustrated, right? I'm like, dude, like, cause they're quick, right? Some of them are chill, but she was like, hey, and I was just getting frustrated. At one point, luckily, it was at the time where they were not too busy, so I was like, you know, fuck this, lady, you know. I passed, went around, and got into another lane, and the lady was
You thought by switching lanes you would get a different lady?
I did actually. That's what happened. So that's what happened. Sometimes it doesn't happen like that.
Yeah.
So it happened, and she was just, oh, okay, this is what you say, this is what you do, and she was just totally different. And I was like, thank you, I appreciate it, because it's my first time being here.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know that, you know. So you kind of have to like, hey, wait a minute, you know, I don't know what you guys are asking for, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, your truck license, your driver's license number, your load out, your load in, whatever you're doing. Is it a port chassis or is it your own chassis? Shit like that. I was like, fuck, dude. But once I got that, because I had a notebook, and he told me, look, you write this is what they're going to ask you for. So I used that for like a day or two, and after a while, like it was only about a week when I just got the hang of it.
Yeah.
Of what they asked. Now, the port itself or the ports, that's different.
Yeah,
you know?
how they do it.
Yeah, how each one does it, the mannerism of each one. The lining of each one. Hey, how you line up for this one. How you got to talk to them. Oh, which line is this for?
Yeah.
Can I cut you? Nah, dog, you're in line. We're all in line. Shit like
Yeah,
that.
is it
That's
a pin or is it an appointment number? Or is it like
all that shit. You know, oh, where's the empty lines? Or your load, you're not load. Is there a scale here? Where's the bobtail lane? All that shit. So the port itself, I got it pretty quick into getting in, and but you know that was within a week or so. But then, like, learning the actual ports, the lanes and all that shit took a little longer. But what's funny is within, like, the 2 weeks, 3 weeks that I got the hang of it, they had me training people. And I was like, well, fuck, okay, you want me to train? Because I got to quit. But I was like, I'm different. I'm out there already I'm out there, like, trying to make shit happen, you know?
You're like, yeah, you know, listen, young man, I'm going to show you what's up out here. I've been out here, anyway, I've been out here a couple weeks, you know, so...
I said, yeah, bro. Like, it was just funny, dude. But I was getting, like, straight up rookies.
Yeah.
Oh, I only had 3 months, 6 months with my license. I'm like, bro, that's different, dude. I was like, dude, I've been driving for a while. That's already experience enough. So you have to get experience driving, and you have to get experience in the ports. Good luck, bro. But I was like, all right, this is what you do. You get a notebook. They're gonna ask you for this, this, and that. Each port is different. There's maps for each port. So that's the things they're not gonna teach you because you gotta kind of find that on your own.
Yeah.
Because the ports are always fucking changing. So it just ended up happening that they got it pretty quick. And, I was getting blown up, too. Hey, how's this? I don't know where this spot is at. This spot. Hey, fool, look at the map, dog. The map tells you everything, Go to this spot, the flip lines. That's the hardest part, the flip lines, because siempre lo están moviendo, right? The flip lines. Oh, one port is here. The other port has it over here. Sometimes they move it from here to here. Same with the chassis pits.
Yeah. PCT would do that a lot, too, right? Like.
Yeah, they had it now. It's somewhere in the back by the boats.
Yeah. The one that's steady is Evergreen, I think. That one's always there by the High Line.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah,
that's the only one.
Yeah.
And then that's the only one. Because Tri-Pack is moving their shit too.
Do you got any crazy stories? Any crazy experience you want to share and what you learned from it?
Anybody can do it. It just, it depends on the person. Sometimes you catch on quick. Sometimes it'll take you a little longer, but you gotta have patience, man. That's a big thing out there. Cause sometimes you're like, fuck, you just want to get in and out. You don't want to deal with the ports, the fucking 2 hour wait lines, and then it's like fucking empty inside. You're in and out 45 minutes, but you have to wait 2 hours. I hate that shit. I have like no patience for lines, but I understand it. And it's like, hey, fuck, you gotta sit on the line. Fuck, you gotta sit on the line.
So now you waited 2 hours, and when it's time to collect waiting time, you get out right away. You can't even collect waiting time.
That's the edge.
45 minutes of waiting time.
That's the edge, though. It's like, fuck, dude.
So no crazy story?
Not really, man. I pretty much not at the port, other than like maybe being cut off, or like what everybody experienced, like being cut off. The biggest one is that some fool like cut me off. I was in line, and it was two of us, and he kind of cut us both off. But the guy's spot that was in front of me was behind. So the guy that cut me off was at my spot. So I kind of confronted him. I was like, hey, I was in here. There's a line back there, right? This is at WBCT. There's a line. So there's a line for everybody to get their spot. He's like, you just cut everybody. He's like, oh, no, well, I just saw my spot open. I cut. I was like, nah, but you're taking my spot. It's my spot now because I was in line. So
you're going to dislike me for this, but I'll be like, well, if it's your spot, why aren't you in it?
Yeah, because that's the thing.
You were playing nice, huh?
I was like, dude, I couldn't come up because there's somebody there, right, at the spot. So he just kind of saw it, that I was moving, and he moved before I was moving.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, so he just got there before I was moving,
Because I've done it, too. Yeah,
so, and then it's like, hey, bro, at that time, it's like, yeah, whatever. But that's it. He ended up moving, though. He ended up backing up so I could take the spot out. All right,
hey, they're very nice of you, sir. Very nice of you, sir.
But it happens, you know. Sometimes it's like
it could have been how you came at him, I think if he probably wouldn't have moved depending on how you confronted him.
Yeah, I just talked to him, dude. Like, usually I don't confront people because it's like, bro, whatever, dude. It's a kind of waste of time to talk to somebody when you're frustrated or they're mad or whatever. But a lot of people, they like to they like to talk shit. And then once you step out of the truck, that's a different shit, right?
And you get off, and then you're like, oh shit, they're taller.
Yeah, that's the thing, like that's the thing, like, bro, if I get off this truck, something's gonna happen. So I'm not gonna get off the truck. I'm just, hey, dude, you want to cut me? Okay, dog, whatever. We share words or whatever. I'm like, fuck it, whatever. Or shit like that. But at the same time, like, dude, I don't got time for that. That's like childish shit. It's like, fuck it, dude. You're doing a job, I'm doing a job. Let's just fucking do the job. You're picking up your load, I'm picking up my load. Let's go. You fucking cut me. All right, cool, bro, whatever. That's most of my time. It's like, I don't know.
We all been cut, and we all cut.
As it is, So it's like,
don't
whatever.
Fucking lie, guys. You all cut at some point if you can. Especially when there's those merging points, and it creates a blind spot for the people behind that guy.
Oh, dude.
That's my time to shine.
What's the biggest one is what? APL does it a lot. Like people like, cause it goes from like what 5 lanes to like 7, right? When it opens up, so people
on the
don't
left
know.
side, yeah.
Yeah, so people don't know if you stick to the first two becomes 4, and so you start moving faster, and everybody's on the left side. But then you see the little spots open, and boom, you cut in. También happens at Evergreen. También the same shit. You know, everybody's turning, but that's a little different because everybody's fucking like on their ass. So that's where all the accidents happen. You know, when people just take off and just try to squeeze through, it's like fuck. But yeah, we all do it, bro. At the end of the day, it's like, dog, we just gotta respect each other. You know.
Yeah.
You know, we're all kind of co-workers out there, even though we do for different companies, you know.
Yeah, I like how you said that earlier. That's sticking with me. We're all co-workers out here, you know? Just for different companies.
That's it, man. You know, we all do the same shit. You know, we got to respect each other. Because I've been in situations where, I've been fucking the stupid locked on the fucking chassis doesn't turn. It got locked in there.
Yeah.
And I didn't have a crowbar, and one of the homies just came up. Like, I never met this guy. He's like, hey, you're struggling. Yeah, fool, here, I got a crowbar. You need to buy this, fool. This is a tool. And I was like, oh, shit. A couple days later, I bought my own. Yeah. But that crowbar, just able to twist the twist lock, boom.
Yeah. Well, you got the ones that see you struggling, and then they're like, oh, shit. They go around, you know?
Yeah, like that, dude. So it just comes to like, hey, we got to help each other out at the end of the day, you know?
So, a company driver... At the moment, what's next? Do you want to stay a company driver or?
Well, yeah, I've been a company driver for about a year, going on 2 years.
Yeah.
My next step was owner operator. I was like at the final point of finalizing my truck.
Like a purchase?
A purchase.
Okay.
So I had everything kind of set. Like, I knew my insurance quote. Well, I got one insurance quote.
Yeah.
So I was gonna look for another one, but I was there like, oh, let me sign the contract, get my truck, and then shop around a little bit more, get more time, get my insurance, so you could take the truck off the lot, right? So that was the step where I was at, man, because I do want to become an owner operator. I do want to build something, pretty much to help people become truckers también para, like, I tell a lot of people, like a lot of girls, like they say like friends and shit, that friends of friends or my friends, that they're like, oh, you know, they're kind of, they don't know how easy it is, or they say they can't do it. And I'm like, well, shit, I got coworkers, que ya son señoras, I got short, you know, coworkers, female, tall, everybody, you know, anybody can be a trucker. You just gotta be able to have that ability to try to learn, you know, because a lot of people, like, I just see that they struggle in the jobs. Some of them, they like what they do, and some, like, they have, like, you know, common jobs where they don't make as much, you know, and they got responsibilities. And I'm like, hey, dude, trucking's right there, you know, you can do it, you know. And they'll be like, well, nah, I'm a girl and this and that. And I'm like, well, shit, well, there's coworkers that are, you know, female that do it, and they handle it.
Just had that episode where we were blowing speakers and shit with the girls. They were wild in here. Containeras.
Oh, yeah.
They were giving their point of view.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like that. I'm like, dude, anybody can do it, you know?
Yeah.
And then they got in it, like, a lot of them, like, I was hearing, I was like, shit, they're like, with a couple months. And I was like, dude.
No excuse.
No excuse. They're making good money. And I'm like, dude, I was like, you're making money that I'm barely making, and I had 5 years in it already.
Yeah.
You know? So the only thing I got is probably experience over the road and shit like that, which it helps in other situations, but not too really in the port.
No.
You know? Because the port is a little different.
Yeah.
You know? So I was like, shit, you could do it. Anybody can do it, you know? So it's good, you know, to see it out there, that anybody can do it, you know?
You know, do you mind sharing your experience with the whole truck purchase for some guys thinking of, you know, I want to buy a truck. What should I do? What's the first step? You look for the dealership, you look for the truck, or how does it go? You got that quote before you even had the truck, so there's some questions there.
Like with everything, right, credit is king, right? But right behind credit,
yeah,
you gotta have income. So people don't know that. Well, some people have credit, some people don't have income. So you gotta have both. Those are the keys. Now, my sense is like to buy a truck, you gotta have you gotta start a business, an LLC, S corp, right? So how I got in, I kind of knew that's the process. You watch TikToks, you watch other owner operators, and they tell you, yeah, you got to do that. But they don't tell you everything. They tell you something, right? So how I got in it is my CPA was like, okay, if you want to do it, I can help you, right? So he's like, okay, you got to start an S corp, and he kind of explained the difference between S corp and LLC. The taxes at the end of the year, you pay less taxes on S corp, and it's better than LLC, Now, the other thing también is that some people are going to tax you a lot to start an S corp. And depending on how much knowledge they're willing to give, it's not beneficial for you. S corp is not that hard to get or that expensive to get, same as an LLC. Now, I paid a good amount because I'm buying the experience that he's giving me. That's why I went with what he asked for. Usually you can start a couple $100, you start S corp or whatever. LLC también lo mismo. But with him, it's like, okay, you're just not just buying the S corp. I'm not just helping you start the S corp, but I'm giving you the experience.
The consulting part. It's like a blend.
Exactly.
Okay.
So he's like, dude, I have hundreds of S corps under my name. I started and I helped them out. So I charge this because you're getting the consulting experience. That's why I bought. That's why I spent the money I spent, which was like not a couple hundred. It was like 1,300 to do it. So I was like, all right, dude. And then he hooked me up with the banker because you need a business account. So that's the steps you want to do. Now people do it differently. They go in to try to get the money themselves, and then they go to try to finance it or try to get their own financing.
As an individual?
As an individual.
Oh, okay.
But también it's hard because you need the S corp, LLC. What takes the longest to get is the LLC, not the S corp, not the authorities. Which I thought it was authorities that take a long time. That's not what takes a long time. It's your LLC and your S corp. So once I got all that figured out, I was in the right process. I was shopping around for trucks. My credit kind of took a hit because I bought something, so it took a hit. I was on an average, decent credit, but not a good credit. What they want, you have to have like 650 and above. Over 700, you're good. So once I was able to repair my credit, I found a truck, and I found a couple trucks. They were asking for different financing, so I was like stuck between either getting a day cab, a couple of sleepers, and then kind of fit the description of what the port wants. 2010 higher, I have to have the DPF filter, which all of them Cali trucks have. And then what's the other one? Within the 800,000 miles has to be less, right? Because within a couple of years, you can't have those on the road. So I was kind of trying to hit all those margins at the same time, So my truck that I landed on was a 2016 that I found was a 2016 day cab Freightliner, about 300,062 miles. So not that much. It was within good amount. The price is what got me. So the price what he was asking for was $62,500. So a lot of people out there selling their trucks, they're asking $62,500, $70,000, but their trucks have 700,000, 800,000 miles. They're sleepers, but they're expensive.
Yeah.
So I get it because I know the market, but I know that since there's a limit of trucks out there, new trucks, the used trucks go up. And it's been like that because of COVID and everything. Same thing with the car market. So it's the same process. Everything, there's no new cars coming out. So the used cars that the dealerships are buying, they're going up. They're asking some ridiculous prices. So what happened with me is that I found one decent price. Total, my credit was good. I put like the down payment they were asking was like 16,250 around there. That's a lot. Yeah. So my credit was good, but not that good, right? So the deal was done, man. This is happening before 4th of July. The deal was done. He's like, well, your total out the door was 80,000 and change or some shit like that. And I was like, all right, cool, man. I already gave him like 15,000 down, right? So once 4th of July happened, that weekend or whatever. The next Tuesday, I was gonna give him the rest, which was like 1,000 something that was owed for the down payment.
Mm-hmm.
And he hits me up. He's like, "Hey, dude, the finance company is asking for $5,000 more." I was like, "Why?" He's like, "Well, I don't know." So I had bought an extended warranty that was like 13,000, right? So it was but it covered like 300,000 miles. It was like almost a bumper to bumper extended warranty, factory, not no like third party. So I thought it was good, right? I was like, all right, fuck it, throw it in there. It just covers me for something if anything happens, right, in the truck. But once he came at me with, "Hey, dude, they're asking for $5,000 more." That's a big red flag, dude. I'm like, dude, you just told me that the deal was done. I just had to pay the remaining balance of the down payment, and then we're good. But you're coming at me with $5,000 more. That's huge red flag. You're changing up the whole deal, or that's what the finance company is. Now, the crazy part is that I was like, okay, so I have extended warranty. So the extended warranty was what the 5,000 was gonna cover, because the finance didn't want to cover that. They didn't want to finance that. So I was like, okay, well, it didn't make sense because I was like,
you already paid for that, sort of, right?
Yeah, so it's already covered, but you're asking me for more money because it's not covering the total amount of the extended warranty. So I was like, okay, that didn't make sense. So I was like, okay, well, how about if I took off 1 year instead of making it 3 years, making it 2 years, right? So he ran me the numbers, and it only took off about like $2,000. I was like, so you're telling me like if I, $2,000 to make it kind of like easy. So $2,000 times 3, that's 6,000. So the actual value of this warranty is 6,000, and you're charging me 13. I guess whatever you're making, whatever. So then that's how warranties work, right? The upsell and shit. So the difference of $5,000 at that, I was like, I got it, but you're not gonna play me for a fool. That's when I was like, wait a minute, okay. So I told him, you know what? I'm a back up for a little bit. I'm gonna give me a week. Let me see what I can do, come up with. And that's when the everything was trying to slow down. The work was slowing down, where my connection was with my company now. They were trying to slow down, so I was like, damn, okay. So shit's kind of hitting hard, dude. So I was like, damn. And then I still hadn't gotten a parking spot, which is another issue, right? So I gave him a week. He kind of knew that I wasn't happy because you're charging me $5,000. So they try to save the deal. So they're like, oh, let me adjust the price on the truck. So that it's in the parameters that it was originally when they told me it was good to go. So at that time, it just happened where I was like, you know what, AB5's coming in. That puts me in the like, oh, I don't know if I fall in that category. And I was like, I don't want to deal with that shit. Parking was freaking ridiculous, $1,200 to find a spot.
Damn.
And that's like the cheapest. And I was like, shit, dude. And I'm limited in budget, so I just can't throw money out there like that, So that, and then the insurance, when I got into, I was like, fuck, dude, $23,000 annually, and then whatever they want, as a retainer, deposit, whatever they call it. I was like, fuck, dude. So I kind of knew what's up with that. But once they changed the deal on it, I was like, you know what? That's cool, man. I had bad enough experience with cars that I'm pretty good with dealing with cars, But it's hard when you don't have your own finance. So especially when you're new and you have a new business license, ain't nobody gonna finance you for shit, dude. You gotta at least wait 2 years you have to have 2 years of revenue to show that your business is viable before they start giving you loans and shit. So I was like, fuck, well, shit. They go based off your own credit. My credit was decent, but not as strong as I wanted to. So once the deal was changed, I was like, you know what? I'm good, dude. I'm not going to continue on. And, I pretty much just told them it's because you guys changed the deal. And you try to save the deal, but this time there's no confidence anymore. Because I don't know what the finance is going to do. They're going to secretly charge me for some shit, or I bought this warranty that actually sucks ass, that doesn't really benefit me. The downtime is fucking big to repair anything or even to make a claim against the warranty. So I was like, you know what, I ain't doing. I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna hold off, let everything calm down. And this is like where we're at now with the start of the recession. So I was like, hey, just let these calm down. And once they start producing new trucks, I either buy a new truck or the prices of used trucks is gonna drop, and that's when you jump in there.
Yeah.
And also gives me time to make more educated decision on. I need brokers. I need to connect with people that want to do something with it.
So it helped you see that maybe you were going in too soon. It kind of helped you see you gotta prepare.
Yeah. Like I thought I was prepared, but in reality, I was more emotionally invested in it. So I was led by emotion. And then I have a friend. He's a good mentor.
To be an owner up,
dude. Like you want to be an owner up. Oh, I found a good price on a day cab, low mileage. It's cool,
It's more than that, right?
Yeah, it's like, dude, you gotta put your emotions aside, bro, and be like, hey, you gotta click all your boxes, check everything, and then realize, okay, I'm ready. Because it's a lot. And it's all a learning process, right? Nobody's actually teaching me these. I'm just like, okay, they show me how to do it, and you hear people how they do it, and then you go up and it's like, nah, dude, it's a little bit more complicated. But sometimes it's not that they don't show you, but they forget themselves because it's been a while or they haven't been in that situation in a while. So they're like, oh yeah, you gotta make sure you have your parking and all this shit, in order to get your truck and all that stuff that I kind of knew but didn't know how expensive it was. But it really sucked though, dude, not being able to get a truck, because I was like, yeah, I got this truck, I bought it, it's almost, it's financed and ready to go, and then I was like, nah, dude, the deal just dissolved, and I was like, well,
what happens then? Did you get your money back, or they kept like a percentage?
Yeah, they gave me my money back. Everything was like cashier's check. So
okay.
Yeah, they just gave me my money back. And they're like, well, fuck, I guess, they were trying to salvage the deal, but I was just not having it. Yeah. Even though the only thing that would kind of like would have salvaged it is if I would have hit them with okay, then I don't want the extended warranty. Give me the new price of what you give me the truck for. Then I would have been like, okay, I'll take it like that. Because I would have dropped my down payment and everything down. And that would have hit them, But...
And the repair that can happen, it's likely that an expensive would be maybe 5 to 10 grand.
Exactly.
Even if it did happen.
But then,
and by then you have some money stacked up.
It costs 5 to 10 grand, right? But what's the downtime? And that's what a lot of people are telling me. What's the downtime for them to get repaired?
Through that process of
the warranty. So
making a claim and all that.
Exactly. So that's what all these people were telling me. Is like, oh shit, I have warranty. But yeah, dude, what's the downtime?
Yeah.
What's the process? Do they have the parts? Because that's an issue now. A lot of these companies, fuck, we have trucks been sitting for months because we can't get the parts because nobody's making them. China shut down, or right now they reopened. So all this shit I'm knowing, and they're telling me, and I'm like, oh shit, you're right. So it's something that you gotta kind of run with. So being new off the boat, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Instead of those who already been in, they kind of have their connections already. They kind of work the way. Oh, okay, maybe I don't get this part from this company, or maybe I do get it from them, and then I kind of owe them at the end, or whatever. You work whatever deal out, right? But you have your avenues.
Well, with AB5, you might be at an advantage if people tap out and they want to sell it. Now there's an abundance of trucks that are going to flood the market.
Yeah.
And now you don't have an excuse that there's a scarcity, so you can't really triple down.
I never thought about that, but that's a good point.
But it'll be more affordable, but it's a risk, right? Because if you buy them too cheap, you don't know the history all the time.
That's another issue. But that comes down to like there's no risk without reward, right?
Yeah.
So if you're not willing to risk it, you're never gonna get compensated for that reward.
Yeah, some guys were on the before the Leoness episode. It was Heavy Hauling. They invested in a truck, a fixer upper. They went like 20 grand in. Yeah. And on its first trip, it literally, the engine just gave out on the on ramp on their way to Victorville. The first fucking trip. You know what I mean? So like, it's a risk.
See, but that's where I don't know if I would have done that because they're specialized heavy hauling, right? So
And that's their name.
Oh, that's just the name, but
Yeah.
they don't do heavy hauling.
No.
Like, okay, that's different.
Well, we do heavy hauling. You do heavy hauling with the export, so.
Oh, yeah. But like I'm saying, like
Literally-
I'm my thinking is okay. They're doing like flatbeds and shit like that, like heavy shit, you know.
Yeah, the stresses.
Yeah, so that's why I would say, okay, maybe don't go with a used truck.
Yeah.
Pero también, okay, so their name's heavy hauling, and they invested in it, and then they have this downfall. That's the risk, right?
Yeah.
You know, but también it's like, okay, hopefully you have enough money that you know that your business is not gonna start with 10 grand, not 15. You gotta at least have 50 and up, right?
Yeah.
A budget, right? So you know, from what I know, from back then, I don't know if it's changed, but usually a new motor or rebuilt motors like around 20, 25 grand, right? So you know, you could rebuild your motor, but it's gonna cost you. I mean, you don't know how long it's gonna sit. So sometimes you might not even want to rebuild it, and you just buy another used truck. You know, you finance another used truck, and you put the 20 down that you're gonna put into a new motor into another truck. You know, but that's the
risk. Like you literally have to shut it down with one repair. So.
Yeah, man.
Very risky.
That's crazy. Those are like the horror stories, huh?
Yeah.
But then, now that's a horror story, but now they're doing it right. They're making it work, you know.
Excuse me. So that owner op is on hold, and then in the meantime, you probably absorb as much as you can from this whole AB5 thing and what's gonna happen, right?
Yeah, pretty much that. Looking for other avenues.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing where else I can find maybe the truck or just waiting for it because the money's there, right? So either gonna finance it or buy it, but build on it. Because I do want to become an owner operator. You know, I do like being I kind of work like that the way it is now. I'm kind of my own, not really my own boss per se, but I work like that. So if I don't want to do something, I just tell I don't want to do it because I know the bullshit that comes with it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and also, well, I just can't say that, but I earn my way like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, when you guys need something done, you call me, I get it done.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it might not always be legal, you know, time-wise when you take, you know, but hey, I get it done, and they know that. But like sometimes I get picky también where I don't want to do shit because it's like, dude, it's a slow week. I'm not gonna pick up or work the second shift. You know, if I was off one day and the next day, you know, I'm not even getting my 40 hours a week. I'm not gonna do that because it's just, for me, I feel like it's a waste of time. Even though I'm getting paid, it's a waste of time. I'd rather just be home chilling, dude. Honestly, just be home chilling. Don't risk getting into an accident. Don't risk getting hurt. Don't risk anything at the port because, you know, at night it's totally different than daytime. Shit's harder to see at night, you know. They work a little bit faster, I think, at night. You know, so I'd rather just go home, do my day shift, and get my hours in, and just chill at home, you know. And I done that to them. They're like, oh, hey, we need your help. I'm like, I'm good, bro. But when there's work throughout the whole week, and there's work, man, you gotta work. You know, but right now, estamos bien, you know, despacio. You gotta chill right now, because when the work comes, you gotta hit it when it comes, man, because that's where you make your money, you know.
Yeah. As drivers, do drivers think that owner operators think they're better than them at times, or do you think everyone is just respectful of whatever stage they're in?
Honestly, I never had no, what is it called, animosity between owner operators. I never seen it. The only thing I know is that when you see a fucking badass truck, most likely he's an owner operator, right? I think they have more pride, right? They take care of not all of them, right? I would say 90% owner operators, they take care of their shit. They have pride in what they do. There's that 10% that don't give a fuck, you know, fucking whatever. They don't care, and you could tell, right?
Yeah, you could cut the line, buddy. I don't want no problems.
Yeah, exactly. Because he's like, dude, this was gonna fuck up my shit. You know,
Yeah.
my fucking chrome bumpers, $500-600.
Yeah.
His shit's fucking falling apart. You know, so we're like, fuck it. But yeah, I never seen any kind of animosity between them, company and owner. The only thing is, like, I would like to see more owner operators like be more helping to, like, especially if they know who the rookies are. and they know that, hey, help them out, dude, because you know these fools would be doing some pendejadas, and it's not like they're doing it intentionally. It's just they don't know.
Yeah.
And you see that a lot at the pours, bro.
Yeah, so it's more, instead of a helping, it's like,
like shit like that. Yeah, like exactly. You know, oh well, you're in the wrong lane, or what the fuck are you doing? Like, you could tell, like, you know he's a rookie. Help him out, dude. Cause I got in something like that. Like, they pull me over, cause I drive my truck, my company truck. It looks like an owner operated truck. Mm-hmm. I take care of it like an owner operated truck. You know, cause I got pride in the truck. So I've been pulled over, and they asked me, hey, where's this at, or where's that? I was like, oh yeah, it's right here, dude. Go over there and then that. The biggest one that was funny is that I was at a TTI, and I was at the restroom in the middle of the lane, where you go to the right, it goes into the main yard, and the left, it goes into the empty pedestals, right?
Yeah.
So some young guy, he's maybe a weekend, ports. He has experience driving. He's like, hey, dude, I'm trying to get to drop this load, right? But I didn't get the information from my empty load. And I was like, bro, you're supposed to go to the empty pedestals right there. And I literally just told him, hey, go up in front, because he's on the right lane. And there's fucking trucks flying. I said, just go up, bro, back that bitch up, and just go right there, right? But I don't know if there's lanes or there's trucks right there. Yeah. This is what I told him. Yeah. But after a while, I actually went to the restaurant, walked on the other side, and I saw it. I was like, okay, he ain't going to do that. So he was still there talking to another driver. So I told him, look, there's big enough gap in the K-rails right there. Yeah. Dude, just cut across. There was no traffic. Cut across. You have to go to the empty pedestals, because there's no way you can come back once you get into the main yard. Mm-hmm. You know, you'd have to actually exit, come back, exit, go back around, and then go into empty pedestals. So I just told him, look, you just take your load. It tells you right here. You know, it's in the back somewhere. For your empty, cut across the K-rails right here, and then you have to go in there, scan your fucking ticket. You know, little beeps, red, green, and then you gotta wait for your ticket to your empty. He's like, all right, thanks, bro. I was like, yeah, that's how it is, bro. You know, that little help. You know, if not, this would have been going around in a circle. Yeah. Or you go ask the what is it called, the people in the pickup trucks, what are those? The clerks, but they don't really help you sometimes. Yeah. You know, they can be dicks them in, but not all of them. But I'm saying some. Yeah. You know, or they're busy doing their own thing, so it's like, dig. You know, I saw that. Hey, you asked me, I'll tell you how you get that.
Shout out to all the cool clerks.
Yeah, for real.
The people's choice or the people's favorite, Mr. Luca. Luca, shout out to you. So that led to, that could probably fall under this question. It was, if you could change one thing about the ports, what would it be?
What would it be? I guess a little respect, man. I think that's, but not just between the shoreman and the truck. Not just like, okay, the shoreman have to respect.
What do you want?
I mean, like, both respect. You know?
What do you want?
Yeah, like, yeah, exactly. Like, dude, it goes a long way. You know, that just a little more respect. We all have their good days. We all have our bad days. You know, we gotta understand it, that we're kind of helping each other out. We can't work without the longshoremen. They can't work with us. Even though a lot of people say, well, without truckers, the longshoremen still have work. Technically, yes and no. Because if the containers are not getting pulled out, shit, what are they going to do all day? you know? So it's a give and go, right? It's a respect. So that's what I would say, more respect. Both sides, because, you know, some truckers are dicks, and I've been there and like, hey, just, you don't know what they're going through. They don't know what you're going through. Just a little respect, dude. Just say, you know, oh, sorry, you know, even though you might be wrong or you might be right, just, hey, dude. That's what I would change, a little more respect, you know, and each other's fields, right? You know, because it's the pedestals, they have a lot of power, dude, and sometimes you get kind of swallow your pride and be like, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
you know, like that, you don't get kicked out or you don't get a choke.
You're talking to yourself, you know.
Yeah, dude. Like,
you got skipped.
Yeah, that's like the biggest one, you know. Like, a couple of them, like, they're cool. Like, though, I had a few like they actually stay on there with you. Just call your dispatch, get the correct info.
Oh yeah, that's beautiful when that happens.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, bro. I don't have to go to freaking trouble with them, you know. Deal with that bullshit. But that's why I was like, oh, sweet. But not all of them do that, you know. But it's just. That's what I would say. A little bit of respect, you know, from both sides. We should be fine, you know, to get to where we have to get to. You pretty much get done, you know, the day, you know, go home, you know, leave home, go to work, come back the next day. We're good.
Mm-hmm.
So.
What's your favorite thing about trucking?
Favorite thing? That's a good one. Well, being one of the biggest vehicles out there, kind of like you're giving respect sometimes with cars and shit. You know, hey, it's a big vehicle, give them some way. You know, and also like kind of like in trucking, I like how you can see people's personalities in their truck. Like, that's like this. That shit's just sick, bro. Like what people do, like it's like fuck, that's badass, you know. And then it's just like shit. I like the way he did that or did that. The lights, chrome, you know. A lot of people don't like that. They keep it stock. Hey, that's cool. That's your own thing. Cause I come from that, you know. I'm a car guy, you know. So I like.
That's what I've seen. Some people that like their work truck is they keep it stock but dependable, right? On the maintenance, they're on top of that, but they have some badass whips.
Yeah,
you know?
that's the thing, bro. That's the way I have it. I just come like that, so it's like, yeah, I got a dependable car, but I got like 2 project cars and shit, you know. And then you have your truck that, you know, you take pride because you like driving nice shit, you know, like you like investing in your car or in vehicle. Because the way I see it is that if you invest in your vehicle and you treat it correctly, maintenance and everything, it's gonna kind of treat you right. You know, I never had issues like big issues with cars because I always put money into my cars, you know, little system here, wheels and shit like that, you know. But I mean, it has a bad effect when people don't respect that tampoco, you know. Like, fuck, they just hit your shit. I'm like, dang, dude, you know how expensive that is or how much work that takes, and somebody just hits you like that. So, but that's the thing I like. You can see the people's personality in their trucks. It's fucking sick, dude, you know. And how they make it look towards their own ways, you know, it's fucking bad. Especially, you know, at the night where everybody has their lights on and shit at the port. I was like, that's just sick, dude. It's like it's a freaking show, bro. Everyone's just driving around.
The rolling show.
You know? And cause my company truck has lights like that. So I always roll like that for one main reason is to be visible. Cause, you know, visibility at night, even during the day, it's hard. So I like rolling like that so it's visible and they catch it. So, oh, shit, watch out, you know.
Also, some terminals have some shitty lighting, bro.
Oh, dude, for sure.
Yellow lights, literally, like looking all depressing and shit.
Yeah, it's like, dude, what the hell? Like, we have LEDs, we have solar panels now. Like, why can't you get better lighting, you know? But that's why, like, at night, it's a total, like, game changer, bro.
That should be a safety concern. What do you think? Like,
let's
say there's a casualty and it's dark.
Yeah.
You want to blame that he wasn't wearing a safety vest or your shitty lighting?
Yeah. That's the thing too. You know, when it was crazy because my company, a lot of the new rookies are thrown out there. Well, you're gonna get thrown out there regardless. But they're working night, so it's like, damn. Like I tell them, hey, dude, take your time, because during the day you can see shit. At night, it's a whole different other shit. You know, people drive faster. There's less visibility. The numbers that you can't even see during the day, you're not gonna see them at night. Like, fuck, dude.
Yeah. There's pros and cons because at night, when the top handler is deep in the pile, and there's a gap, you could see that he's about to come out. You see the lights flickering.
Exactly.
But in the day, you got to be looking out for that flag.
Yeah.
That shit'll pop out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Yeah.
Watch out for those gaps.
Yeah, exactly. You know.
Any goals at the moment that you're working on?
Like we were talking about this earlier. I'm trying to set up something, man. I'm trying to do something. It's the company I work for. They're growing quick, man. They're going just crazy quick. You know, during the pandemic, you know, they were shut down, but they're buying chassis, all kinds of shit. So they're like kind of gambling, and it worked out for them. And right now they're fucking buying trucks. We have all kinds of year trucks. We have 2022 trucks. We have older trucks. You know, day caps, sleepers. You know, I think they're gonna buy an electric truck coming like pretty soon. So they're staying with it, and they're growing, dude. We're outgrowing our Compton yard. We outgrew it. So we're outgrowing our Compton yard. Now we're in Commerce, and then we have a smaller yard in Victorville, Hesperia, and then we have not a yard, but parking spots in Ontario and in Fontana. So they're growing, and they show me their timeline. So they want to buy a warehouse, right? They want to buy, what is that called? Kind of pretty much cutting in the middleman. I forget what that's called, but they want to cut the middleman because we deliver. I don't know. A lot of people do this, but I know my company they take the container out of the port and we deliver it to a warehouse, right? And they're the middle end, right? And then they get the dry vans that come in. They
The
take it out.
transloading.
The transloading. So
Yeah.
we're trying to cut that out because we had a lot of issues with the transloaders. You know, with the brokers, booking in. I can't hold this shit. My shit's full. So we had a lot of issues with that. So they want to be the transloader. So they want to be the one warehouse when they do both. So they trying to get a warehouse somewhere in Ontario. At the same time, they bought property in Hesperia because one of the owners lives out there in Victorville, in that area. So
Yeah.
he bought like a fucking acres, man, to build a big ass warehouse. But that's a 2-year process to build it, city permits, everything. So I'm like, at that point, I want to be at where I have 5, 6, 7, 10 trucks so that I can be the owner operator that helps them out. You know, as they grow, I grow with them. You know what I'm saying? Because they're going to need owner operators.
And you're definitely looking into AB5 then.
Yeah. So that's why, but I'm, I'm trying to get my own authorities and trying to work with them. So it's kind of, I think they're gonna be a broker, at one certain point. But they told me, they're growing. So I was like, dude, I gotta be there. If not, I'm gonna get left behind. Cause I don't want to be a company driver all my life, So I want to build something, and then see how it just grows, make something work. Something had pretty much nothing,
I think a lot of them don't want to go the broker route because they got to give up a bigger chunk of the overall cost of the price of the load.
Oh, yeah.
So, and they lose visibility, so they can't really tell you what to do. It's just hand it over. You got to do the rest. So,
yeah.
But there's a lot of stuff a lot of opportunities, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
yeah.
That's my thing, You gotta find it where it's at, So with them, it's like I should be fine, But I'm also trying to team up with somebody, because my whole thing, like with people I meet and with all my ventures and jobs, is like you always gotta keep that good respect, leave on good terms, so that if you ever need help, they're gonna be able to help you out. If you have to go back to that shitty job, they'll help you out. They'll take you because they're like, oh, yeah, you were a good worker. We'll take you, because you never know, right? When the pandemic was a big eye-opener for that. How
do you see your scenario working out of you finding a business partner? Is it something you're going to, just reach out to someone or,
Yeah, pretty much. Either somebody reaches out to me or I reach out to somebody. Because, like I was telling you earlier, I got drivers, dude. And a lot of companies are like, oh, we don't got drivers. But I got drivers. I got port drivers that they work. One's a coworker. I brought him in. He learned the port. She's pretty good. Although she's a coworker too, so she's badass. She's the one that got me into the ports. But they're all looking for change. So my whole thing was, let me get a truck. Start 1 truck, 2 trucks, 3 trucks, like that. I got drivers. And then I got another driver that works for a different company that's willing to come work for us when the time is right. So I was like, okay, let me set something up, and then I'll let you know, because you can make money here, bro, at the port, bro. There's money here, So, yeah, man, I'm kind of just sitting and waiting. Things usually happen that way. It's kind of funny how it happens. People just hear it. Oh yeah, they hit you up, or you find a job and somebody's trying to grow, and they're like, well, I don't have drivers. It's funny because I always had drivers, but I don't have trucks. But the thing is also, I like training people. Mm-hmm. I like training. Like my homie, he's also training. He actually trains at the company. He shows them how to get into the ports and everything. And he only has like a couple months experience. At the port. But he's a good trainer. But not just a good trainer at the port, but he's a good trainer for people trying to get his license. He already helped 2 people get his license. So I always had his connections like, hey, dude, if we could do something where we could train people and find them jobs, that's a big thing. Because number one thing for all transportation companies, we need drivers. They need drivers. And then the other thing is like, oh, well, do they have experience? That's like, they do and they don't. But depending on your insurance company, that's where it tells you if you're going to get hired or not, Because that's another big thing, right? You get your license, and then you're like, shit, where can I work? Now, if you go with the big mega carrier, they'll find you work. You'll get your experience to them 6 months. But if you're doing it on your own, that's a little hard because a lot of companies, insurance won't hold you because you're either your age or your experience is not there.
Yeah, well, if they see that there's a lack of drivers, then change the age. Then
They should
do something that helps, right?
They should, because you get your license at 18, you know.
But you can't do shit with it, so what's the point?
Exactly. So it's like, it's hard, you know. It's
Yeah.
hard, you know. But there's the whole thing. There's money in it too to train, you know, to simplify, to train, you know, shit that I like to do because I like showing people how to make money. Like, hey, dude, if I can do it, you can do it. You know, your only limitation is yourself. You know,
Yeah.
if you're not willing to put in the work, then you're not gonna reap the benefits or the rewards. You know. But yeah, we'll see what happens. You know, we'll try to find somebody, you know, that's trying to do something, or you know, there's a couple people. Hey, they need a driver, like a full-time more driver and more invested partner. I guess. Yeah, I'm ready to go. You know.
Yeah, a lot of the guys that have came on the podcast, they are partnerships. You know, so it's one industry like the ports that you can. Teamwork makes it work sometimes. It's a lot of the more the merrier to make it happen because it's expensive and all that.
Oh, yeah,
you know,
dude. Even the stress, bro. Like
Yeah.
sometimes it's like overwhelming just for one person. So
Yeah.
it's best to divide it,
yeah.
divide and conquer, dude.
Yeah.
You know, especially at the ports.
You mentioned there's money at the port, and I want to agree with you and say that also the mega carriers think so as well, right? And companies are seeing that. I'm starting to see more JB Hunt at the ports. One that surprised me, I saw, you know, the furniture.
Ashley Furniture? No.
Living spaces.
Oh, living spaces.
Those gray trucks.
Yeah,
They're already in there with their own chassis. And
I noticed that.
everything. So
I noticed that. So
imagine the big corporations will start
Dude.
creating their own. Like, man, we're gonna cut this cost down, get our own. you know?
Yeah, man. We gotta prepare, dude, because they're going in there. You know, they're going in there like, you know, what is it, CRST?
Mhm.
You know, they're the ones always getting into accidents because they're getting a bunch of rookies. Those fools are funny. Not all of them, but I'm saying a lot of them were getting into accidents. Wow, and I was like, what the fuck? Oh, there goes one accident, another accident. But
They got volume, probably they could balance it out.
So yeah, them, Swift, like Swift used to be like one or two. Now you see a little bit more. JB Hunt, they just out of nowhere just. They're like, oh, we do rails, you know, and then now they got the chassis though. See, so they got the rail, they got their own chassis, so now they're in there. I'm like, shit, you know. So JB Hunt and then Living Spaces. I seen Ashley's Furniture. Well, not too many, but Living Spaces. Yeah, they have the gray trucks.
Yeah,
I noticed them on the freeway,
Yeah,
and I was like,
tripped
dude,
me
they
out.
have that gray trucks and they're nice. And I just seen them say, oh, Ashley's Furniture pulling a container. I was like, oh shit. I was like, that's cool, man. You know, but that's like, bro, they're big, dude. You know, they're big, so they're cutting into people's money. You know, they're not
And
really.
they can afford to convert everyone to W2.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is, the AB5 was like, one way is like, it's California only, right? It's California compliant only, right?
Yeah.
Or it's only, so a lot of these companies are not from California. Like, I know that I was looking into getting leased on, right? Like from XPO. So XPO is not stationed in California, is it? From what I know, I think it wasn't.
I'm not sure, but I heard in the webinar that it's hard to pronounce that firm's name, Scopelopidis or Scopel. Forgive me, guys.
The firm, yeah.
But that's something that is not a loophole, like because the business conducted is in the state.
Okay.
It's happening here, so you can't just go register out of state and then expect to, you know.
Okay, because that's usually that's how it is, you know. With Swift and all these mega carriers, they save a lot of money because they're out of state and they're conducting work here. That's why you see the license plates, Indiana or fucking Montana, wherever they're fucking Maine.
Yeah, I may be wrong though, because the residency or the of the entity or the individual, it matters where the business is being conducted. The majority of it. So who knows, man.
But so say I just to touch on it.
So
the majority conducted is saying XPO, because XPO is one of the top 10 biggest mega carriers, right? So most of the work wouldn't be in California. It would be.
That's what I'm saying. Who knows?
Exactly. So
but some are saying Landstar has thousands, and they just said we just don't fuck with California anymore. Simple as that. They're not gonna worry about no loophole or no shit. Like they're just not gonna work with California. No California loads or none of that shit.
That's crazy. Cause
So
another one is what FedEx. I mean, FedEx has a lot of contractors or lease. I don't know if they have a lot of lease contractors like that.
they have this thing where they it'll say FedEx for the branding purposes, but they all have a standardized format, right? The same font, the same color, the little letters.
But it's a different company.
Yeah. So I don't know how they're doing it.
So yeah, that's the thing.
Interesting times.
Yeah, cause you notice this shit. You know, when you're in this, you notice this shit. Like cause I know that UPS is one of the biggest one. FedEx is another biggest one. Well, they're kind of big, but as mega carriers, right? Swift, and then you have like JB Hunt pretty out there, and then you have like CR England and Schneider and all those, and then there's other more that. Yeah. You know, but those are the major players.
Yeah, Swift tried to come in when the implementation of the clean trucks, 2000, the first time that the clean truck program came into place, there was a lot of Swift trucks, day cabs. No aguantaron, I think.
It's
once they get into that port game, they know this shit.
It's crazy.
It's not as easy as it looks, you know.
See, the thing, it's a lot, dude. It's a lot to learn. It's a lot to do. And they're not one of the best paying out there. I'll tell you that much by experience. Yeah. So once you see the shit you have to go through, a la verga, bro. They're like, fuck this shit. You know, I'd rather just stay local. Plus,
did you get your license with Swift?
I did.
Oh, I didn't. I should have asked that, but now I know. Yeah. So did they tax you?
Yeah, man. So it's like a loan program. But the thing is, I had experience already. Okay. So I didn't just go like, hey, let me get my license. No, I've been driving commercially. So me being in a bigger vehicle, I was already used to it.
Yeah, I just took that little step.
Yeah, so the only thing I needed to practice was a double clutching, right? Double clutching and then turning with a trailer. But I got my license through Swift. So like people would bag on it. I'm like, yeah, but you want to.
But I still have a license.
Yeah, I got a license, but like if you want to test my skills right now, I'll show you what's up. You know, like I do some fucking crazy shit, you know. Yeah. Cause just experience, you know, being there out of the road, you see some shit. But Swift, yeah, it's like I got it because I didn't have the $3-4 grand to go into school, right? And the other thing that I like going with the mega carrier is because they hire you right away, bro. You're not gonna pay all this money for school and you can't even find a job, which a lot of people they get hit like that. So with them, they're like, oh yeah, we train you. Yeah, you're gonna pay $3-4 grand, and then you have opportunities for experience. I was only there for 6 months.
They always get you with that experience. Yeah. Was that one of the requirements? You don't have to pay it.
You have to pay it.
Oh, you have to pay it.
You have to. I think it's like 13 months. It's a contract.
Oh, okay.
So you don't pay it, but they'll just take it off your check. So I was only there for 6 months, and then I left. Boom. So, yeah.
You don't have to answer this, but did they go as far as like now, like trying to get you on collections or some shit?
Yeah, they did me like that. Yeah, they got me on collections, and I was like, well, fuck it, I don't care. Yeah. So you know, let what the statute of limitations hit that, work that out.
Yeah. There's always a way. Yeah.
You know, so
I got my fair share of those. You know,
and that's what happened. So I let it work out because the training was a joke, bro. Oh. Luckily, I was like. I had experience, but the training was a joke. Because if say you went no experience, good luck, bro. It was a month program. The instructors were good, but only like 2 or 3. The rest were like terrible, bro. Like they were just bad, and then so many people at the time, you know. So it was hard to get enough behind the wheel training, you know, and then the backing, you know, because that's the biggest thing. For anybody is the backing. That's what takes the longest to learn. You might not even ever master it, but you become good at it throughout your experience, you know. Yeah. But the training was really like a joke. I was like, Dad, you guys are paying this much, and you know you're not really taking it serious. And then the other thing is a lot of these people that are paying up money, or they somehow found like a way to get the sponsorship or somebody pay for it. They wouldn't take that shit serious, bro. So I was like, dude, you're taking my time to me, then I'm taking it serious. For you just joking around and thinking you're in fucking high school again, bro. Like, come on, dude. And it happened a lot, fool. Like, it would just be frustrating. I was like, this dude, like, a lot of us, you know, you have different eras, right? You have, you know, different age groups, and then you have this fucking kid right here not taking shit serious. Like, dude, fool. Like, I'm trying to get my license so I can start making money, not just to make money, but I want to better my my lifestyle or myself, you know. And then you have some fucking punk right there not taking shit serious, fucking joking around like he's still in school, bro. You know, it's like, dog, come on, bro. You know, and it happens a lot in those programs, you know. So luckily I got in, got my license, got my training. I left within like 6 months. I went back to my old job for a little bit, and then found, got into dry vans and trucking then, and then got into the port where I'm at now.
And you are with the Containeroz.
Yeah, exactly, bro.
What does Containeroz mean to you? What did you think when you first saw the name?
I was trying to figure out what it was, you know, but it's like a community, like anything. So I was like, okay, it's a community. Containeros, it's in Spanish, you know, it represents not just like for raza, but it's the whole trucking community of containers and how we pull. And once I figured it out, I was like, I like that shit, you know, I like being part of that because it's kind of like separates you from the rest of everybody else, you know, dry vans, reefers, shit like that. Yeah. You know, but it's port. It's all port. Like, they know what the fuck you go through. They got into the same shit. They got stories. You got stories. You know, they know the fucking bullshit at K-Line and Trash Pack and fucking WBCT, the 2-3 hour wait lines. You
can relate.
Yeah, exactly. You can relate. You know, you can just talk about it, you know, and it's pretty awesome to be part of it, you know, to see how it grows. Especially when your podcast, when you started, it's fucking growing and shit.
Yeah, there's been some gaps lately, but yeah, it'll pick back up. And yeah, in short, I'll tell you, it is. I want it to be like we take pride in container hauling. Like,
yeah.
Like, we're not embarrassed to be a container hauler.
Yeah.
Like, this is the shit. This is
that's why I like it. You know, because for a long time, I didn't like it. I don't fuck with containers. I was like, fuck this, because I was like, dude, they're fucking metal. They're heavy as fuck. Just the container itself, they're heavy as fuck. And, you know,
this container doesn't match my truck. It doesn't look cool.
Yeah, so it was like all kinds of shit. Like, I just didn't like them. And then once I started driving, I was like, fuck, dude. But then after a while, I was like, they're not that bad, you know. But then you start worrying about chassis and shit, you know, the little shit. But yeah, it was cool though. I like driving containers, not bad, you know, chassis and shit. And then like most of the yards, everybody does it. They don't give a fuck. You get hit containers, pop, fucking.
Bro, yeah, perfect training.
Exactly. That's what I like.
With confidence.
That's what I like. Well, like you rookies, like when they tell them, hey, back it up, and they hit it, it's like, don't worry about it. It's a container. Fuck it. Yo, pop. But don't do that with no fucking driving, because you'll rip the whole fucking aluminum side and you're fucked. But just practice, you know, gives you the practice, the weight, and everything. But I mean, like I tell a lot of, like, I train like 2-3 guys. It's like, dude, one guy said he had 40 years of experience driving. Cool, bro. Hey, take your fucking turn slow, bro. You don't know what the fuck you're hauling. You don't know how it's set up. You don't know how it's tied down. You don't know if it's top heavy, low heavy, if it's on pallets or boxes. You don't know. Take your turn slow. That's the biggest thing I told all these guys when I'm training. And then this guy, 2 weeks later, he took a turn real quick. Right there, laid down right there on the side. Right by the 110 Anaheim. Yeah, the 710 Anaheim, where everybody likes to flip, right?
And you know what's fucked up? I interviewed, I went to their yard, the Van Lincoln group. Sean, the owner, he said that even if it's determined that the load was improperly secured, when they open the seal to see how it is, that still doesn't work in favor of the driver of saying that he's not at fault, like, to clear his record. So even if that's proven, you're still fucked. Yeah. So it's like an unfair, like, and everybody has a bad rap that if you flipped over, it's because you lack experience, right? But a lot of times, the majority of the time, the load shifts.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
That even with a normal speed, when you slow down, it's enough to tip it. Yeah, it just takes you over. So that's something I think they should work on. You know.
Yeah, that's why, like, all the company trucks that we have the gauge monitor to see how much the weight is on the fifth wheel. So that tells me how heavy it is. So, like, cause you know, containers, you don't know what the fuck you're hauling. You know. In dry vans, you kind of know, right? They load you up.
You at least get to see. These you can't break the seal.
Yeah, so you don't know what the fuck you're hauling. But I know heavy shit, and I know, like, dang. But you're right, though. You don't. The loads does shift depending on what it is. Like, my company, we move these fucking steel drums. Fuck, dude, those shits are heavy. They're 20s, and they're still, like, there's still wraps. that we move from the port. And those shits are usually there's two, depending if it's have a triaxle, it's 3 of them in there. Fuck, dude, those things, like I tell them, you can see the tires just starting to blow out a little bit. It's fucking heavy, and I tell them, hey, just take your time, cause
and don't speed with the recaps in the summer on heavy shit.
Oh, that's the biggest thing, the recaps. I always had I tell them now when they send me, cause I do go out of state with my company, so I tell them, hey, dude, make sure those things have either regroove, they're alright, regroove, or original tires. Don't put no fucking port trash, because they're gonna blow out, and it's gonna cost you $600-700, and it happened to me twice already. So now they take a look and everything, and they swap out the tires if they have to. Just do it, because if not, I'm gonna have a blowout, because I don't stop.
Yeah.
So that means it's just heating, and then whatever little bump or whatever, just.
Shout out to all the truckers that pre-pull a load. And look out for the guy that's going to be the next to take it. Because a lot of times, just because it ain't going to be you don't give a fuck. Yeah. You want to get that quick, pre-pull money. And then your boy the next day is going to fuck up his day, man, just because you wanted to rush. So
yeah, exactly. I appreciate that. So
have you ever had to use a bucket for...
Oh, dude, that's common, bro. I ain't got no shame in that. I had to use it, Yeah. Not really at the port, but I had to use it on the road. Okay. Fucking in the middle of nowhere and shit. I got some privacy on that, but...
You had the bucket experience then.
Yeah, dude. It happens, bro. It happens,
Nothing to be ashamed of, guys.
I mean, like, even if you have the time to go to the rest stop, for those who've been out there on the road, if you go to who has them? I think Arizona or fucking Texas. No, Arizona. If you've been out there, the fucking restrooms fucking... doors are like halfway, bro. So like you literally stand up and everybody can see your shit right there, bro. So it's like sometimes you don't even want to fucking deal with that shit. You're handling your business.
Anybody ever made some small talk with you while you're taking a shit?
Nah, bro. Fuck awkward. That, dude. That's all it is. It's like a little angle, bro, and that's all your privacy, bro. So like those who have gone over the road, they know what the fuck I'm talking about. They're just, and then they're like, some of those fucking restrooms are just dirty, dude. They're just fucking nasty, and you're like, fuck that, dude. Catch something just by fucking trying to take a shit right here. Fuck.
Hey, have you seen that prank where that fool sits next to the stall when they're taking a shit? And he puts fudge on his hand.
Oh, yeah. Let me get the toilet paper and he puts it in. Oh, fuck. That. Now I'll be like, hey, I'm good, bro. Use your fucking sock, dude.
There you go. Sock check.
But it's been done, bro. Like, the fucking, the shit you gotta experience. That's just pretty, it's like, fuck, man. I know Arizona's one of them. I think I forgot the other state, but I was like, why the fuck do you guys even have these kind of toilets?
Yeah.
Just fucking short, and they're like right next to each other. Like, fuck, dude.
Or when there's all these fucking open shitters, and the motherfucker has to go right next to you.
It's like, bro, fuck, dude.
Come on, bro.
The fucking code, bro.
Anyway.
Use some space, bro.
So if not in trucking, what would you do?
I don't know, bro. That's a good one. I always like music. Like I told you, I went to school for recording, so that shit was a big thing for me. I just kind of find out it was too dark of an industry back then. Right now, it's a little bit better because you could do your own shit. So something that always piques me, like music, DJ, live sound, all that shit. So I would have to kind of be in something like that has to do with live sound. Hooking up mics, running it, and all that shit. That was like my passion. It still is. One day to try to do some shit like that. But right now, you gotta kind of build something so that you can kind of work on your passion.
Yeah, at this point when we grown, it's like, oh shit, now I know that if this passion, I should have done it when I should have done it. Like, like, how do I say it? It's very possible, but it's just that much harder. Let's keep it real. It's,
because now you got more responsibilities. Yeah. You got other shit you gotta that take priority. But I mean, at the same time, like, oh, I can still do it.
Yeah.
It's just going to be a little bit more work, but you could do it because it's all, time management and shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do for my kids. Maybe not, like, be like, oh, you should be this, because some parents, sometimes they couldn't achieve something, so they want to instill that in their kids to be that. Like, you got to be a actor because I didn't get to be an actor. Or whatever, the beauty pageant. These moms go loco over that shit. Oh, yeah, right? So,
that's all comes down to, like the mentality, man. You can't really do that. You can't really control your kids, You just got to just show them the love, and then
the
hopefully,
passion.
yeah,
Encourage the passion to take it serious. Like, if that's try to see the passion and then push them. If I could go back in time, that I would have like whatever passions I had, like really take them more serious and have no plan B.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But
then if you think about it, back then it's harder, dude. It was a different time.
Oh, of course. Yeah, we barely caught a wave of the SoundCloud movement when it was already dying out too.
Yeah.
So it's like,
definitely
better times now where everyone can be a celebrity now if you think about it. But then there's so many expectations for you that you might be kind of depressed because the expectations might not be what you're really feeling inside.
Yeah, it's a lot, dude. Like, especially for like a lot of like young kids,
they just want to be famous, bro. They don't even know why.
Yeah, they want to be famous, but they don't want to put the work, or they think it's easy, but they don't see the back of the work. It takes a long time.
They can be destroyed just like that. Because if they want to be famous just for the sake of being liked, the minute they cancel you, you're gonna fucking kill yourself.
And that's what happens with a lot of these guys. And then they become very self-reliant on being like validation, and in real life, it's like, dog, this ain't real life, homie. Not everybody's gonna like your ass. Yeah. You're gonna be judged. Yeah, unfortunately, but it's just, hey, show respect. If they don't respect you, hey, that's cool, man. Hey, you walk your way, he walks your way.
Yeah, do moves in real life too, like, because if whatever fame you have online is taken away, what are you? Yeah. What are you in real life?
Yeah, exactly. Like, so, that's
who will show up to your funeral and give a fuck.
That's another thing,
Pay some
bro.
respects.
That's another thing. I mean, like that. So it's like, don't go for, I guess, the false likes or everybody trying to like you. Just do you, man. Don't. If they like you, they like you. If they don't like you, well, they don't like you. Yeah. Just do you.
So we're talking about youngsters in the past. What would you tell 18-year-old Kenny? You could go back, give you some insight. Hey, Kenny, check it out. If you do this, what's up? What would you tell Kenny?
The biggest thing is, like, I always hear it. So a lot of parents tell their kids this. It's like, dude, take your shots, bro. Take every shot you can, because every shot you don't take, it's like what is it? What is it?
Oh, I know. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Exactly. So it's like, that's the thing that I would take, especially like in high school and shit. A lot of shit like you didn't take because
Are you a crush or?
Oh yeah, yeah, and I was more timid. I mean, back then, I was more timid. I was more just kind of quiet. Like my homies will tell you that. But it's like, dude, you gotta take your shot, because you miss every shot you don't take, dude. That's exactly what it is, and that's the thing you gotta do. Take it. If they say no, fucking move on. Because then you're at this point in present time, and you're like, fuck, dude, what? You don't know what could have happened. Yeah. You don't know where your life would have gone. Or maybe it wouldn't gone nowhere and you're in the same spot, but you might be more happy, or you might have something you wanted, that came along with you because you took that shot. And that's what I would say to my younger self,
Hey, where's your high school crush, and do you still want her?
Gee.
Now you don't gotta answer that. I'm just fucking with you. I don't even know if you're in a relationship. You don't want to make.
I'd rather not talk about that. Actually, you know what's funny? I was gonna answer that shit because I know, and then at the same time I was like, nah, I'm good, bro. I'm good. I ain't trying to start shit. Fuck, nah. Yeah, that's a good one though.
Yeah, right. A lot of time. Yeah. Anyways, so cool. Great advice, bro. Great advice. What about some advice for those that want to be truckers?
Do it, man.
You kind of
I got a young homie. He follows me. He's probably gonna see the video. His name is Gio. He knew me and my other homie Renee. He's a young guy. He's like 20. He's in his 20s, but he saw that we're truckers, and I actually showed him my paycheck. I don't show nobody my paycheck, but I showed him my paycheck because he knew that we make money. But he was so serious about it, and he was already enrolled in school before they did the new course of taking a video or watching a video, whatever that
shit. February 7th, I think. New, that you gotta go in with a permit and all that, right?
Yeah, like it's like an added shit.
Oh, okay.
A video you have to watch.
Oh, I wasn't aware of that. I just know something changed in February where you're gonna have to go to a certified school
Yeah. So it's like from what I know, it's like it's a certified school because you have to watch this video that gives you a little bit more training of like I think like how to pull your fifth wheel, your landing gear, shit that the regular trucking school will or will not teach you, or they'll teach you quick because they want to get you in the door and out the door. You know?
Maybe a little more visual that they can look from home and if I don't know.
Yeah, so it's like some video, some shit like that they pass, right?
Added value to the training.
Yeah, so that's some shit that they pass. So like he got in there before that because he paid, I don't know how much, he paid a couple, like $2,000 I think. Mm-hmm. Before that new law came in. Once that new law came in, the whole schooling doubled or tripled. So because now the schools have to be certified, they have to show this video, so they're charging more the people, which is kind of fucked up.
And now you can't hook up your homie when you have your truck and be like, all right, let's pull up with chassis or whatever, and you could do the driving test with me.
That's the thing.
All that's done.
So it's like I was like, fuck, that sucks, you know. But if you got in it before, that's cool. But you can still do it. Don't let that discourage you. Yeah, you can do it. So this little homie, like I showed him, like, hey, dude, look, this is what I make. You know, I don't show nobody, but I show, look, this is what I make, and that's like, he's like, fuck. I was like, dude, this is what you can make, and it's not gonna take you 5 years like it took me to make this because I'm already teaching, like, hey, work at the ports. So he had like a little discouragement because he messed up. He missed his appointment time. Like he took off. He went to go get something to eat. He talked to the wrong person. The person told him, "Yeah, come back. Your things at whatever." But the instructor was like calling his name, and he wasn't there, so he missed it. So he's in that whole dilemma of trying to get his shit back in together. But he's gonna get it. I have no doubts. Mm-hmm. But I told him, "Yeah, dude, anybody can do it. Get it if you can. If it's something you're interested, look into it. There's so much like videos and shit. Don't believe all the horror stories and shit out there. It's different for everybody. You know, if you really want to make good money, I always tell them, go to the ports. That's where the money's at. You know, but it is not for everybody. So check it out. You're going to get experience in the port. You know, give it a couple months. You like it? Yes, cool. You make money? Cool. You don't like it? All right, you don't like the ports. There's drive-ins, there's reefers, there's fucking LTL, there's whatever.
Everything has a downside, though. That's what people don't say, like, right?
Yeah.
You do reefers, you got a lot of layovers, you got a lot of rejects.
Like, yeah, that's the thing, too, yeah. So, yeah, everything, obviously there's something, everything has a downside. You know, to local, over the road, or if you only do like the western states and shit like that. Yeah. But it's a good avenue, you know. You'll have more, and then you know what, the Class A, you don't want to drive trucks. You don't have to drive trucks. You could drive bobtails, the smaller bobtails, box trucks. You could drive freaking party buses if you want. If you get the passenger endorsement and shit like that, or if it's less than 16 people, you don't need that. So there's ways around it where you can make money with the Class A. Mm-hmm. You know.
Well, to your buddy that didn't get to do it, right? He's in the process, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead, sorry.
Oh yeah, he's in the process. So like he had to redo all his shit. So he has to take his riddens, and then he has to go do the air brake test and the behind the wheel and all that shit.
Well, here's some inspiration for him. There's a guy, I won't mention his name, but he shared a quick little story with me about he did some prison time. He got out, got into trucking, but he failed his written test 20 times.
Wow.
Up to around 20 times. And fast forward, now he's like, he has a company and has like 10 trucks.
Shit, that's it. It's, you know, it's shit of...
The long story short, don't give up. Keep trying it. You really want it, you'll get it when you get it.
Yeah, I know another compañero too that he failed like 6 times. But he kept going, dude, and he got his license. You know, he got it. So, don't give up. You know?
He said that he pulled up to the DMV. He's like, I'm here to buy my license.
Oh, shit.
He thought he would just go in and pay and get the license. Yeah. And then they told him, here you go. This is what you got to do.
So, he did it before when it was easier, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because now it's a little harder to do. Now it's all like before, like, you get the test like this, paper. Now you don't get it. It's all like computerized. Mm-hmm. And you could only go back once. Mm-hmm. So back then when it was a paper test, the answer, it just sometimes was on the same page, the answer for one question was above the other one, so you can
Yeah.
see, oh shit, okay, this is wrong and then it's correct.
We would collect them and then we would interchange
right.
them. Like
That's right.
they had 5 different
Yeah.
different types, right? So
Yeah.
you might get either or. So whoever had all 5, they were winning, right? They were just sharing that. So if you studied all 5, then
you're good.
You're good, yeah.
Because they like to change the wording. That's the big thing. They like to change the fucking wording. That's always the biggest shit with them. They'll change one word or, one other word, and that shit fucking throws off the whole fucking question,
Yeah.
But, now it's a little harder, but you can still do it. It's not impossible. Just getting it done, man. Once you have your test, you're pretty much good. Your license, you're pretty much good, and just renew every year, every 2 years your medical card.
That's right. Hey, well, we're running out of time, but I always like to ask: is there anything that you would like to add?
Towards what, like
anything that you might want to share with the people?
The thing that trips me out since you started like this podcast, I think like one day, like in the future, maybe a couple months, is like anybody in this industry would have to come through you like during this podcast. I just feel like this is like gonna be like establishment, like, oh, if you're a port worker, driver, whatever, you're longshoreman, you're gonna have to come through like the KONTAINEROZ podcast, and then you'll be somebody. Like, that should be sick. Like, you'll be like, oh yeah, dude, like you'll be established. Like, this fool ain't full of shit. You're like, yeah, he's established. You have to come through the podcast. That's how it is. That's how you build your clientele, you build your connections, and then next thing you know, once you get your truck back, you have your podcast, your truck, and then you have up to date with the shit that's happening.
Yeah,
but,
there's variety. Like at the end of the day, whatever anyone says, that they just gotta own up to it. So if you share anything and it's not true, then that's on you. Like, as far as like, because I would worry about that a lot. Like, I can't control. There's some stuff out of my control, right? So people come on here and if they share something that can be derogatory about some situation, I didn't say that. It's like, I don't know. I just take your word for it.
People, but you get checked on here though too.
But,
you get both, right? You get checked on it. Some people will be like, no, that's not right, even though they're wrong. But hey, that's how it is. That's politics, right? That's shit.
And politics is a shady game sometimes. We need more of the good out there.
Yeah,
right
exactly.
Now it's just a lot of in my opinion, the bad guys running it. But yeah, anyways, before we get canceled. So yeah, I'm always thankful that you guys are willing to come and I don't really. They were saying, "What's the procedure to get on the podcast?" I'm like, "You just did it right now. You're interested on coming on? Let's do it." I'm pretty open to whoever's down to come.
Yeah, I'll probably bring back my other homie because he has a lot of experience. He's been driving for a while.
Yeah.
I want him to share his experience because I got him in. He didn't want to do fucking port. He didn't want to do KONTAINEROZ. He didn't want to do none of that shit. He didn't want to do the port.
Yeah.
But he had a bad experience with his dad and shit. And I just kind of be like, come on, dog, come on. And now he's cool with it, Mm-hmm. But I would like to see. I would like him for him to share his experience.
Yeah.
How it went and how he learned, and is it something that he would tell other people to do or not?
Yeah, we got to stay grounded. I could even ask the same 10 questions to 100 people on the podcast, and they will all be a different story.
Yeah.
So I stopped stressing about that part too.
Yeah, that's cool though. So. But yeah, everybody has their own opinions, stories, but it's all like the same kind of. In the same circle of what happens to us, which is pretty tight.
Yeah. So I'm really thankful you guys for your guys' interest in coming on here, and thank you for your time.
For sure, man.
On a weekend.
Appreciate coming through.
And dropped a lot of gems on here, so thank you for that. So you guys tune in to the next one, and that's it for today on the KONTAINEROZ Podcast.
Cool.
Peace.
Later.